again, a house of horrors for the Bruins down through the years. Montreal has feasted on the visitors and saved some special treatment up there for the Bruins. There are ghosts in the building: Geoffrion, Richard, Beliveau, Dryden, Lafleur. And although they are all gone as active players, there remains an aura. Montreal has done a turnaround this year, another changing of the guard, as Guy Lafleur has retired and waits for his turn now to be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. But Canadiens are at the top again, and the Bruins trying to challenge. Bruins, Canadiens, stand by for Boston Bruins hockey.
Bruins meet the Montreal Canadiens. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by your local McDonald's, where it's a good time to give the great taste to family and friends with McDonald's gift certificates. $1 each or in books of 5 for $5. Share the holiday spirit with McDonald's gift certificates. By the Boston Globe. The Globe's here. By the people of Eastern Airlines. We earn our wings every day. And by your Toyota dealer, the all-new Corolla GTS with its scorching sweet 16-valve engine. Win a game back on Saturday, but it didn't prove anything about whether they're out of that slump or whether they are not. That win was against Vancouver, not what you call one of your powers of hockey. It was at Boston Garden, and it was in overtime. Tonight's game at the Forum will tell more of a story. Either the Bruins are on their way back or they are still a struggling bunch. Let's go to the Forum, to Fred Cusick and John Pearson.
Thank you, Tom. The Montreal Canadiens, John, 30 games into the season, have really turned it around. They're leading the Adams division.
Well, they are, Fred, and they've somewhat changed their style from speed and finesse to hard work and being opportunists. And I think the only way you can combat that is to work as hard, if not harder, than they do, because they're good checkers. You got to get rid of the puck in a hurry, hopefully to the open man, keep the flow of the play going, but in your own end, you've got to be razor sharp, because the Canadiens are on a roll. They've got things going their way, and they're working hard at it, and they have confidence. They're going to be tough to beat here tonight.
And amazingly, they have 6 Americans on their team, and maybe the best one is, in his first full season, Chris Chelios.
Well, I think that's a fact, Fred, and one of the things, too, they have 3 rookies on defense, which is hard to understand that they can be as good as they are, but this guy is one of the main reasons. Wearing number 24 in his first year with the Montreal Canadiens, did play in 12 games last year out of the University of Wisconsin. Very fine player. He carries the puck well. He's got good credentials. He skates well. He's got a very good shot from the point, and he gets a lot of ice time, and he deserves it because he's playing probably as good as anybody on the defense for Canadiens.
Well, if you have 3 rookies on defense, then those forwards must really be back checking.
Well, I think that's the key, Fred. They've got some diggers in the corners, and they've got some guys who come back. They're playing what I would consider to be a conservative forechecking style, which is what we've talked about that we feel the Bruins should get involved in.
We'll have the opening face-off in just a minute.
Well, welcome back to the Montreal Forum, the Tuesday night road game for the Boston Bruins, and a capacity crowd here at the Forum in Montreal, the 4th meeting of the year between the Canadiens and the Bruins. Montreal has won 2 games, one at Boston and one here by identical scores, 3-1. The Bruins have won 7-4 at the Boston Garden. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Canadian-American national anthems.
Lighted on the lily light, what so proudly we hailed, are the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, are the ramparts we watch, where the gallant lay streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave, all the land of the free and the home of the brave. Au Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front est ceint de fleurs en glorieux, car ton bras sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. Au Canada, glorious and free, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
We're all set for National Hockey League action from the Montreal Forum. The Bruins and the Canadiens. The referee is Brian Lewis. The two linesmen, Gord Brassecker and Ray Scampanello. And that's Brassecker on your right. In the middle was Ray Scampanello. In goal for the Boston Bruins, Pete Peeters, his 23rd start of the season, 2.82 goals against. And at the other end of the ice, a guy we've seen a little bit of, Steve Penny, his 22nd start of the year, 2.93. And here for the great play-by-play from the Montreal Forum is Fred Cusick.
And on the face-off, it'll be Ken Linsman against Ron Flockhart. Brian Lewis, the referee, about to face him off. It is Charlie Simmer on the left wing, Keith Crowder on the right, with Ray Bourque and Matt Stalin. And the draw to Bourque and quickly to Simmer. Simmer coming on green is checked at the line and tied up and a face-off called. Ron Flockhart at center. He was acquired in a trade from Pittsburgh as they gave up Shabbat, looking for more goals, more speed, more playmaking. Shabbat more the plotter type, and Mike McPhee at left wing, who's out of RPI and played a couple of years, paid his dues at Nova Scotia, is more that plodding type of winger. Mark Hunter on the right side in the Boston end. Hunter checking Tallene with a hard hit in deep. Flockhart can't get it. Bourque knocked it around. Simmer breaks it out, looking for Crowder. Crowder lost it at the line to Ludwig. Ludwig lost it to Simmer. Simmer back over the line, going deep, hit by Ludwig, and Flockhart takes over. That center back deep, and his great speed, he breaks it out, gets it to McPhee. McPhee back in front, and it was missed by Flockhart. Didn't seem to have the stick on the ice. Back comes Tallene, center ice. The clear up over the line, missed by Ludwig. In deep, Crowder pokes it free, loses to Flockhart. Around the boards, it's kept in by Linsman. Linsman, now Ludwig knocked down by Crowder, and Flockhart takes over. Canadians trying to change up, and the Bruins have O'Reilly out as Mike O'Connell at center ice. Back to Milbury. Bruins organizing, and it's off to Fergus. Fergus over the line, right wing. Quick shot. That snapshot of Fergus went high and wide. Nyland pokes it deep. O'Reilly battling Green. Fergus in there too. They get it free, and Donnelly trying to keep it in. Fergus does. Back now to Milbury, and it's cleared in. Bounces wide. Going for it, McPhee. Now it is cleared out by the Canadians. It will be icing if Milbury wins the race against Nyland, but he can't. Nyland got it. Now drops it off. And a centering pass. Nyland tipped it wide as he got it from Ryan Walter. And a penalty coming up on the Bruins.
Number 26, Mike Milbury's going into the penalty box for cross-checking.
And with the score, Boston nothing, Montreal nothing. Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.
Number 8 for the Canadiens is Turcotte. Milbury cross-checks him right by the goal crease, and he's off. 1:45 the time, first penalty of the game. Canadiens on a power play.
And Pedersen gets the draw to Bourque, and Bourque breaks it out on the attack to Pedersen. A chance here over the line coming on. Chelios rolls it in, and Bourque had just cut wide of the net and is able to smother the puck in the Canadian zone. That faceoff may be called outside the line as Bourque moved on the attack.
Two changes in the Boston lineup from Saturday afternoon when the Bruins beat the Vancouver Canucks 2-1 in overtime. Brian Curran, the defenseman wearing number 34, is dressed tonight. Lyndon Byers, wearing number 12, who played against Vancouver, is not dressed. Kluzak, Gillis, and Keynes are all on the injured list. We'll review that for you in a moment. Bobby Smith and Jean Hamel are out of the lineup for the Canadiens.
Bourque gets the draw and drives it in, and it is blocked by Penny. Taken over by Chelios, and Chelios starts it out. Flips it in. Back is Peeters. Peeters controlling, trying to get it up on the right to Neal. It is blocked and kept in by Tremblay. Tremblay gets a return pass, drops it for Chelios. In for Tremblay. Tremblay checked by Blum. Mondu has it in deep. Naslin's the man they have to watch. And in front, a turnaround shot by Tremblay missed the net. Naslin keeps it in. Back to the right point to Curvis, a rookie. Rolled in weakly on Peeters, and he's able to cover up. And a face-off call.
Good exhibition of the box formation by the Bruins, letting the Canadiens pass it around briskly on the perimeter of that box. Nil was out there with Casper, Bourque, and John Blum, and they tied up the center. Tremblay got a drive away, but it was way wide of the net. And finally, Naslund back to Curvers on the right point, and that was stopped by Peeters, and he grabbed it for the face-off.
3 Americans out there on the power play for the Canadiens, and with Walter and Hunter. And again, Bourque works it free. Again, he's on the attack from center ice, taking his time over the line, killing some time, holding it out, getting it across for Pedersen, for Middleton. Flipped in front of the net. Curvers broken up. Turnaround shot. Score! Barry Pedersen. He stole it from Tom Curvers. And a shorthanded goal by Boston as Pedersen took it away from Curvers and makes it 1-0.
These two guys have lots of talent, but they need something to get them going, and this may be just the tonic. Middleton off balance into the center, but watch Pedersen steal it away from Curvers and fire a low shot along the ice in behind a surprise Steve Penny. And the Bruins take a 1-0 lead, unassisted, but credit Middleton with a smart play, just keeping it in. And the Bruins get out in front here at the Montreal Forum. 2 minutes, 55 seconds into the period. Pedersen unassisted.
And the draw back now to O'Connell. O'Connell gets it up to Pedersen. Back for O'Connell. Bruins short-handed over the line looking for Tallinn. It is taken over by Robinson. Still a power play for the Canadiens. 38 seconds left on it. Boston leads 1-0. It is Pedersen's second short-handed goal of the season. Peters trying to move it out. It is stopped and kept in. A drive by Nyland goes wide. Svoboda able to keep it in. A rookie defenseman, 18 years of age. In deep to Walter. Walter checked by O'Connell in deep. And it's pried out. Taken over by Nyland along the boards, broken up. Svoboda fires in, blocked in front by Tallinn and cleared away. It is Robinson with it. Now up for Walter. Walter for Hunter. Hunter in deep, trying to center it. Knocked away by Peeters as it reached the net. And Tallinn able to clear it away. 2 seconds, 1, and Milbury is out. And Boston killed off the penalty and scored a goal. Barry Peeters getting that. Winding up, Svoboda. Robinson, the play broken up by the Bruins, taken over by Ray Bourque at center ice. Now Tremblay trying to get it going with Bob Gainey. Gainey winds up and takes a hard hit from Jim Nill. Nill, excellent body checker. Back on the right, Louis Slager over the line with Casper in deep. Avoids the hit. Rolls it across in front. Svoboda tried to line up Slager. Curran tries to keep it in, and the puck is knocked out by the Canadiens. Slager back for Ray Bourque, who appears to be playing most of the game the way it goes. Puck knocked back at the Boston end, and Curran trying to drive it right out with Nill. Out to center ice to Casper. Breaks with Slager. 2-on-2 off for Slager. Cuts in front. Moving wide. Backhander. Good save, Penny. He drops it off for Tremblay, but the whistle had blown. And with the score, Boston 1, Montreal 0. Let's pause for this message.
Excellent passing by the Bruins. Here's Slager cutting in for the backhand shot, going to the far corner, and Penny reached out with a glove. That's a tough save for a goaltender. Different motion, as we've discussed, on that backhand, more of a sweeping motion.
Crowder keeps it in, turns, can't get the handle on it, right at the crease as he moved it in front. Simmer back to Milbury. A high shot knocked down in front and bounces to McPhee. McPhee off for Hunter. He breaks with Flockhart. Puck cleared in wide of Peeters. And the rebound, McPhee able to keep it in, losing to Milbury with the pass in front. 1-0 Boston. Simmer out to Linsman. Linsman pokes it ahead, and Green knocks it away. At center ice, Mike O'Connell able to fire in wide of Mike McPhee, of Steve Penny. Around the boards, Crowder trying to keep it in. Battling Ludwig, Simmer trying to move it in front. Linsman behind the net, checked by Green. Up for Hunter, and he stopped immediately. Milbury right back for Linsman on the move. A break here over the line. Drops it for O'Connell. A shot, screen blocked and cleared by Ludwig. Tremblay starts it out, but he can't move out. O'Connell checked him. Tremblay on it again in the center ice. Gets it up to McPhee. The line's changing for the Canadiens. And Mondeau gets a return pass from Tremblay. They can't combine again as Milbury broke it up, and Dave Donnelly breaks it out. He's checked by Naslund. It bounces into the stands, and a face-off called at center ice. And tonight's third period has been designated as the Boston Globe TV 38 Score with the Bruins. Each time the Bruins score a goal, you have a chance to win an official team jacket. Just fill out an entry blank from the Boston Globe, send in your name and address on a postcard to the Globe TV 38 Score with the Bruins, P.O. Box 500, Boston, Mass. 02135. No purchase necessary. Fergus trying to break it out, broken up by Naslund for Tremblay. The shot, skate save Peeters, but they rule the play offside. 13:52 left in the first period. 1-0 Boston. A shorthanded goal by Barry Pedersen, unassisted at 2:55. His third goal of the year, his second shorthanded.
And the Bruins so far doing an excellent job at containing the Canadiens. They're not skating with the same determination. And it's because the Bruins are moving the puck nicely to the open man and coming out through center. And they lead 1-0, 13:52 first period.
And the Bruins should put on the exhibition that the Canadiens do in Boston. Fire the puck out, just play defensive, John.
Well, I think the little bit of conservatism is good at this point, Fred, especially with the record the way it's been. But you got to play any kind of game you have to play in order to win at this stage.
And this may be well, it is a television first for Boston. John Donnelly is our director. This is an exclusive telecast for Channel 38, the only pickup, and the cameras, the whole operation for Channel 38, and John Donnelly is directing. First time in my memory that I know of it. Here comes Fergus, center ice. Fergus wraps it in around the boards, bounces in front, and Bruins can't capitalize on it. Donnelly tried to set up O'Reilly, couldn't do it. Fergus, Donnelly keep it in. Donnelly weaving, working it in deep. Tough angle, and he lost it to Chris Chelios. Chelios, born in Chicago, Illinois, lives in Madison, Wisconsin, played for the University of Wisconsin. Now it's up to Naslund. Naslund drives it in, and Tallene fires it right up, but not out. Couldn't quite work it out, but the Bruins are going to do that. And he tries it again, but Donnelly is checked. Now gets it away. Now breaks it up the boards and out of the zone. And with it, Fergus. Now Tallene. Tallene breaks by Tremblay. Over the line, trying to set up Donnelly. It's stopped by Naslund. But the Bruins have a forward dropping back, and Blum, right wing center ice, able to fire it in. They say no icing on the play. They're getting rid of the puck quickly. And Chelios trying to come out now to Nyland. Over to Naslund. He lost control, broken up by Bork, who taps it to Pedersen. Pedersen with the only score in the game. And the Bruins have checked mightily as they lead 1-0 the first period. Out comes Gainey. Gainey on the go, and he's stopped by Middleton and then Bork. And Curran fires it away. Carbonneau gets it up to Gainey. Gainey hit by Bork. Knocked off the puck. Bork knocked down. Middleton trying to roll it out, and he does. He gets it center ice, and he is stopped in the play by Carbonneau. Now Gainey, but Middleton right back, and Bork steals, breaks, now picking up Silk. And the play offside as Bork went wide. And from the Forum in Montreal, the score of Boston 1 and Montreal 0.
There are over 1 million Toyota truck owners out there. Have you ever met an unhappy one?
I haven't. Not me. Never.
Independent research ranks Toyota trucks unsurpassed in mechanical reliability. Better than Nissan, Chevy S10, better than Ford Ranger. No wonder 95% of all the Toyota trucks sold are still running hard. No wonder Toyota is #1.
No wonder to me.
See your New England Toyota dealer and compare. he delivers value.
Three other games in the National Hockey League tonight. Washington's at Quebec, Los Angeles at Calgary, Winnipeg is at the New York Islanders, and Washington leads Quebec at the Colisée 1-0 on a goal by Duchesne.
O'Connell fires it in. The Boston line, Petersen, Middleton, and Silk. Ludwig trying to move it out. He's one of the American players from Eagle River, Wisconsin. In deep, Silk has it near Penny. Weaving, trying to get it in front of the net. Couldn't do it. Rick Green off for Gainey. Gainey fell down, but gets up and gets it off to Craig Ludwig. Ludwig, this could be icing. No, it bounces near Peeters. He plays it, and he fires it right out. And that's what the Bruins are doing tonight with a 1-0 lead. Lucien Deblois starts the play back to Ludwig as the Bruins check all over the ice. 11:30 left in the first period, 1-0 Boston. An errant pass in deep. O'Connell fires it right out of the zone. And Middleton has it. Middleton all the way across for Silk. Can't handle a bouncing puck. Center ice, O'Connell takes over again. Oddly enough, some of those wild clear-outs are connecting for passes. Ludwig winding up now and gets it off. And Deblois is checked on the play by Nil. Bounces into the stands on a face-off call, and the Bruins are checking. The shots are even, 2 apiece.
Sometimes when a team is not playing as well as they should based on the talent at hand, it's due to the fact that the plays that they pick to make are not the correct plays at that particular opportune moment. Middleton had the puck along the boards here. He had Petersen breaking through center ice. Instead of going with Petersen, who was on the move, he tried to hit Silk way over on the left wing. Now, he should have given it to Petersen. Let Petersen make the additional play. What that does is it freezes the defenseman. This way, Silk could do nothing with the pass because the defenseman quickly was on him and he had nowhere to go.
Nil battling to keep it in, but it is knocked away. And up to center ice, stopped by John Blum as it was cleared up there by Curvers. And Curvers and Blum sort of trade passes now. Tom Curvers around the boards. He's from Minnesota, Minneapolis to be exact. Bruins nil. 4 checks deeply on Nyland. Curvers able to move it out though, and breaking is Alfie Turcotte. Walter, and in alone is Nyland. And a beautiful save by Peeters. Spectacular on Nyland, who went to the backhand. Great opportunity, and a drive by Turcotte is blocked by Peeters and smothered. Chris Nyland in alone went to the backhand, and Peeters took it away, and then followed up with a good stop on Alfie Turcotte.
As good execution as you'll see. 3-on-2. Walters to Nyland. Cuts in, takes it to the backhand, but Peeters, not to be fooled by that initial move, just came over nicely, calmly, and laid that right pad down. And Nyland banked it off the pad, and Peeters kicked it aside. Beautiful stop by Pete Peeters. Good execution on a 3-on-2. Walters in the center. Got the defenseman committed in there. They could not go too wide for fear that Walters would go through the center. And Walters laid a beautiful right wing pass off to Nyland. He cut in, as you saw. Peeters with a big stop.
Svoboda, a drive wide of Peeters. He covers it off the backboards on a faceoff. Svoboda is an 18-year-older drafted from Czechoslovakia. How they got him out is a big question, but they did. A break in the action. Let's pause for station identification.
This is TV 38, WSBK TV, Boston.
One thing you have to remember, when a forward comes in all by himself, that goaltender has one thought in mind and one concentration. That's on the puck. The less you move the puck, the easier it is for the goaltender, especially if you're going to draw him, because he watches the flow of the puck from right to left, as you did in that case with Nyland. He did not move it or make any fakes so that he could freeze Peeters on one skate or the other to give himself that little extra advantage.
Tremblay intercepts in the corner, keeps it into Mondu. Mondu looking for Naslund, floating across. Now Mondu comes out of the corner, and the backhander is blocked, and a shot by Naslund hit the post. He centers it, and it's blocked by O'Connell. Can't clear it out. Svoboda fires it in, and Milbury trying to clear it away, and Naslund keeps it in. 21 goals already. A shot, difficult angle off the side of the net. Bruins trying to drop it out, and Linsman gets it up to Keith Crowder. Away to center ice, it's blocked. Bounces around. Naslund able to work it over the line. He's hooked down by Crowder. Crowder out for hooking Naslund. 9:38 left in the first period as the Canadiens pick up their attack. And Naslund had a threat going along with Mondu. And now they have their second power play. Boston leads it 1-0. And you're watching Bruins hockey from the Forum in Montreal.
start.
Winter driving can mean trouble, but plain gas-line antifreeze often can't help. STP gas treatment does more. It tunes up your gas for better performance. Used regularly, STP helps break up water in your tank to remove it, helps clear your fuel line, and cleans your carburetor. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Oh, yes, Daddy, it's coming!
Don't get stopped cold. Get STP gas treatment and tune up your gas. STP, your car care company.
There's a great high-angle shot of this penalty. 26 is Naslin. Now watch the hook by Crowder. There are 3 Bruins there. That is not a good penalty to take. Crowder should let him go, let Milbury pick him up, and take him into the boards. But the Bruins have their second minor penalty called in the first period. Crowder for hooking, 10-22.
Alfred Turcotte has it. He gets it in for a backhander by Nyland, and it's blocked and fought for it. Nyland gets it in the corner. Chris Nyland out of Northeastern University drops it back now for Robinson across for Chelios, and he's broken up by Pedersen. And Pedersen can't capitalize on it, but Kasper has it, and he breaks over the line, cuts in front, trying to get a position. He's hooked and draws the penalty. Curvers is going out for hooking. Great play by Steve Kasper. Great hustling play. First, Pedersen broke up Chelios, and then it was Kasper hustling on Curvers, and Curvers out for hooking.
Well, Steve Kasper faked the shot on Curvers, straightened him up. Now right there, and he runs around him on the left side. That's good hustle by Kasper, but Curvers got his stick in the midsection and hauled him down. And Curvers draws the penalty at 10:47 of the first period. 2 minutes for hooking.
Curvers played at the University of Minnesota Duluth. Chris Chelios, of course, University of Wisconsin. The draw is back to Bork. Each team short a man. Bork is broken up by Guy Carbonneau. 9:07 left first period. 1-0 Boston. Barry Pedersen stealing from Curvers and beating Penny for the lone score. And over to Middleton for Bork. Middleton trying to cut in. Breaks into the corner. Checked by Svoboda. Svoboda breaks him up. Carbonneau wraps it around for Robinson. And Robinson keeping possession now for Svoboda. Robinson, and Robinson able to work it out into center ice to Guy Carbonneau, and he breaks with some open ice over the line, and Robinson coming up couldn't get the pass, and the play is ruled offside. In 59 seconds, Keith Crowder will be back. 8:37 left first period. The Montreal Forum, the Bruins lead 1-0.
And the Bruins will have a short, brief power play, 25 seconds. The Canadiens had that 25 seconds on the front end of Keith Crowder's penalty, but then Curvers drew his hooking call 25 seconds later. Tomorrow night at the Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut, the Boston Bruins will take on the Hartford Whalers. And 2 road games for Boston. They will actually play 3. We'll be in Toronto on Saturday night. First visit of the season for the Bruins to Maple Leaf Gardens.
Jerry Cheevers has Tom Fergus and Rick Middleton with Mike O'Connell and Matt Stalin. Each team short a man. Green away to Chelios, breaks it over the line, gets a pass from Deblois, drilled one, and Peeters made a fine stop. And Chelios can score. Oh, he ripped that off. And the puck O'Connell to Middleton, breaking it out. Stalin coming up to help out. Middleton looking for some support and can't cut in. And Deblois gets a break back. And over the line for Mondeau, and the shot blocked by Peeters. Out to cut down the angle. 9 shots by the Canadiens. And Pedersen breaks now center ice. Each team short a man. Pedersen over the line with O'Connell. Leaves it for him. O'Connell trying the shot, and it's blocked by Chelios and goes wide. Green checked in deep by Pedersen. Barry Pedersen, the only scorer of the game. In 15 seconds, the Bruins have the man advantage briefly. And out comes Pierre Mondeau. Fires in wide of Pete Peeters. Very sharp. Looked at 9 shots already. Bork breaks. Center ice is slowed down, trying to get control. And right now, Boston man advantage. 24 seconds on the power play. Crowder over the line, dropping it for Lindsman. For Tallene, the shot, save, Petty, rebound. Crowder can't stuff it home. Fighting for it in deep, and it's cleared away by Carbonneau. At the Boston end, 9 seconds left on the power play. 7:20 left first period. 1-0 the Bruins. Ray Bork again, up for Crowder, stayed onside, over the line, trying to work it in deep. Now the Canadiens are at full strength, and Robinson gets it along the boards. Bruins fight for it, and Bork able to keep it in. Bork clears it deep. Ludwig checked by Lindsman, but Carbonneau takes over. Guy Carbonneau starts it out for the Canadiens. They're at full strength. Swoops over the line, trying to penetrate, and behind the defense, it's broken up by Fergus and cleared out immediately. Goes to Linsman. Linsman for Fergus on the move, over the line, trying to cut in. And he's hit on the play by Ludwig. He went down, but the puck bounces, and breaking it is Tremblay all alone. And he's stopped by Peeters. Remarkable move by Peeters there. As Tremblay faked, and Robinson is spilled on the play, and Linsman will be going out. And Boston shorthanded as Tremblay broke in. Peeters made one of his very best on Mario Tremblay. And first period action will continue from the Forum in a moment.
See this chair? More than 1.5 million people see the game from this seat every night because they read the Boston Globe every morning. It's the same commitment to covering the world you'll find every day in the Boston Globe.
This Friday, Sports Plus will finally reveal the answers to the Globe's Cotton Pick and Bowl contest, along with the 25 lucky winners who will be going to the Cotton Bowl. Look for the answers and the winners this Friday in the Boston Globe.
A strong, powerful skater, Mario Tremblay, coming in off the right side. Now watch him fake to the long side, come back to the short side, and Peeters got his stick on it just as he went to shoot it, and he knocked it off his stick. They don't list it as a shot on goal, but if Peeters hadn't been there, I'll tell you, that would have been racked up.
Bruins break it up, and Casper goes to center ice with O'Reilly, killing some time. Boston shorthanded. Linsman in the penalty box. Casper battling down deep. The penalty, Linsman tripping, 13:32. And out comes Chelios. Center ice, the long shot, the save, and the rebound is Flockhart in, and he scores! Ron Flockhart, a power play goal. As Chelios fired in, Peeters kicked it out, but just 20 feet in front. And Flockhart, with his speed, moved in and tied the game.
The advantage of the low drive. This is Chelios, and he banked it off the stick of Peeters. And look how far it came out. Two Canadians converging. Hunter, and this is Flockhart. And he takes it very wide on Peeters, who tried to reach out with a catching glove but couldn't go far enough. And Flockhart tucked it in behind him. And the Canadians tie it at 1-1 on the power play at 14:01. Flockhart from Chelios. And it comes at 14:01 first period.
Game tied at 1. A power play goal by Ron Flockhart. For the Bruins, a shorthanded goal by Barry Pedersen. And the shots are 11 for the Canadiens and 3 for Boston to this point. Carbonneau over the line. And he drops it off for Deblois, whose shot is wide. And a drive by Svoboda misses the net. Bruins Silk out to Middleton, but he stopped on the play. Silk trying to move now. Breaking it up is Deblois. Battles over the line. Silk lost his stick. Bourque trying to break it up. Peeters too. Deblois in behind the net. Now it's poked away. Carbonneau back for Svoboda. His shot deflected wide. Curran fighting in the corner. Taken over by Gainey for Robinson. The shot missed the net. And it's all Canadians here. The Bruins can't move it out. Gainey gets it again. Again for Robinson. And he was just hooked at the last minute. Curran trying to move it out. Deblois. And Curran drives it up the boards. And Middleton starts it out. Middleton into center ice. Weaving. Works it over the line, trying to break in, and he's caught from behind by Svoboda. Back comes Gainey, and the Canadians have picked it up considerably at tying the game 1-1. Out comes Linsman, center ice. He's checked in the play by Turcotte. Turcotte able to dig it free, and Tom Curvers from center ice able to wrap it in. Peeters has been very much the story of this game. Behind the net, O'Connell around the boards, not out. Turcotte drove one, bounced off O'Connell, stopped by Middleton. Middleton stopped by Walter for Turcotte. Turcotte checked by O'Connell, drops it away for Nyland. Nyland right to the corner, and a kick-out save by Peeters as the Canadians are dominating. Ryan Walter hauled down by Linsman. Gets up, gets it, keeps it in with Nyland. Back for Walter, checked by Linsman. Now Chelios trying to keep it in, and Linsman down on the ice, can't get it. Chelios does. All Canadians here. Chelios turns, shoots, blocked. O'Connell knocked down. Puck is kept in on the boards by Curvers. Looks like a power play here the way the Canadians are going. And Turcotte in front. Score! Chris Nyland. Turcotte set up Nyland. And Nyland makes it 2-1 Montreal.
Nobody could find the handle, and the Canadiens, as Fred mentioned, you almost thought they had the man advantage. The passing was very crisp and sharp. Watch Nyland in front. Turcotte lays it right on his stick. He waits for Peeters to come across and then slips it between the pads. And the Canadiens take a 2-1 lead. Nyland from Turcotte and Curvers. And it's Canadiens out in front for the first time in the game. This goal comes at 16 minutes and 4 seconds, first period.
The shots are 14 Montreal and 3 for Boston. And that looked like a power play for Montreal. Boston simply could not clear it for well over a minute and maybe 2 minutes. Now the Bruins trying to crank it up as they trail for the first time in the game, 2-1. But the Canadiens break it out. Ludwig, pass intercepted by Donnelly over the line. Fires, and it's deflected by Green into the stands on a face-off called. And we're in the first period with the score, Montreal 2 and Boston 1.
Every once in a while, something unexpected shows up.
Hey, what's that, a Toyota?
The 1985 Toyota Corolla GTS. A Toyota, dependable. A Corolla, affordable. A different kind of Corolla. A sleeper. A car for the street powered by a new twin-cam, electronically fuel-injected.
What's he got in there?
16-valve engine.
What's he got in there?
Known as the TC16.
Yeah, what's he got in there?
The goal by Chris Nyland from Turcotte and Curvis at 16:04. Earlier Flockhart from Chelios, and then Pedersen unassisted. That's been the scoring, but the domination has been Montreal. Forget the checking game. The Bruins were simply stormed in their end as Mike McPhee takes over now. Wraps it off for Flockhart. Flockhart for McPhee. He breaks in alone. And his shot blocked by Peeters. It was a bouncing puck and hard to handle, but he was in alone, Mike McPhee. Tallinn clears it out. Bruins can't get started as Hunter stops the play. Now Tallinn with 3 minutes left in the first period and 2-1 Montreal. Puck out at center ice and Flockhart on it. Checked. In the Boston zone, Mats Tallinn. Trying to get the play going and get an attack going on Penny, who's had a breather for most of the period. Bruins for a while were able to check the Canadiens with quick clear-outs. But now the Canadiens are storming. Naslund winding up into center ice. He's stopped in the play, and back comes Kasper with Nil. For Nil checked by Ludwig, can't get a shot away. In deep, Kasper on it. In the corner, trying to drop it in front, and Naslund breaks it up, and he starts out with Tremblay. Mario Tremblay at the Boston line is stopped, but Mondu follows up, keeps it in, goes deep, centers it, and Bourque intercepts. Bourque trying to move behind the net, checked by Naslund. Naslund at 5'7", 158. One of the smallest men in the league, but very effective, and Mondu tries to set him up, but he was covered by Milbury, and Nil just ices it. Back goes Svoboda, and icing on the play. Coming up in our first intermission, Tom Larson will bring you highlights of the Bruins' past 2 home games with Quebec and Vancouver. Greater Nashua meets Brockton in the Bantam round robin. John will review highlights of the first period.
Well, the Bruins were not getting shots on goal in the first period. Up to this point, they only have 3. They were handling the Canadiens very nicely. The things were going along very well. All of a sudden, they stopped skating. And the Canadiens picked up the pace, realizing that they had an advantage. And they have peppered Pete Peeters over the past 7 or 8 minutes, countering 15 shots to 3 for the Bruins to this point with 1:57 left in the period.
Barry Pedersen against Ryan Walter. Pedersen has the Boston score, a shorthanded goal. The Canadiens, as John said, last 7 or 8 minutes, all Montreal. And only for Pete Peeters, it would be much more, with a shot margin of 15-3. And one that we saw they failed to count. Nyland intercepts and keeps it in. He's checked by Bourque. Bourque trying to get free behind the net. Walter right after him, breaks up the play. Puck kept in by Turcotte. Stopped by Bourque, bounces for Slager. Slager with Pedersen. Pedersen over the line. Dropped it for Slager, but he was cutting the other way. And that's been the story for the Bruins. Back at center ice, Milbury failed to wait for Slager to clear the zone, and it is offside. And we have 1:31 left in the first period. The Canadiens in front, 2-1.
When two teams are playing fairly even over a stretch, and then one team, for some unexplained reason, stops skating, the other team recognizes that pace that's slowed down, and they crank it up. And if they do it at the right time, the momentum swings in their favor. They get good shots on goal. The other team starts holding on. And the Canadiens have come up with 2 goals, one on a power play, Flockhart from Chelios at 14:01, and then at 16:04, Nyland from Turcotte and Curvers.
Back to Robinson, over to Svoboda. His shot deflected by O'Connell into the stands. Bobby Smith not playing for the Montreal Canadiens. He was hurt in the game in Philadelphia. Struck by a puck. Some question mark whether he'd play. He indicated at practice that he would, but he's out of the lineup, and they have not missed him over the last 8 minutes at all, as the Canadiens are flying as they used to in the Guy Lafleur days. Flockhart, a speedster, set him off with that power play goal, and then Nyland all alone in front. Set up by Turcotte. McPhee keeps it in. Flockhart checked by O'Connell. Hunter knocked down by Tallene. McPhee loses to Simmer. Charlie trying to come out. Plays it back to Mats Tallene. Up for O'Connell. Away to Crowder into center ice. Lindsman rolls it in, and that's about the first time Penny's handled the puck in quite a stretch. And less than a minute left in the first period. Crowder over the line now, gets it to Simmer. Simmer back for Crowder, has to go to the corner, tries to center it, bounces for O'Connell. O'Connell a shot off the side of the net. Robinson takes over. Robinson gets it away to Lucien Deblois, acquired from Winnipeg. This clear in could be icing. They wave it off. O'Connell out for Crowder. It doesn't connect. Ludwig starts the play with Green. 30 seconds left in the first period. And the puck is cleared away by Ludwig into the Boston end. Mike O'Connell there, and somebody's glove down on the ice. Out comes Ray Bourque into center ice for Fergus. The play broken up by Carbonneau. 12 seconds left. On the attack, driven in by Deblois. Bounced in front, and a shot by Gainey goes wide. 5 seconds left. Another shot by Deblois, and a save by Peeters. Just able to hang on at the post. With time running out, looked as though the period would wind down. Instead, the Canadiens had 2 chances. One missed the net.
From one of those almost impossible angles, a weird play. Almost snuck by the right skate of Pete Peeters, who's had a very busy first period here at the Montreal Forum. Shots stand at this point 16-3 in favor of the Canadiens.
And when you figure most of them have come in the last 13 or 14 minutes or so, for a long stretch, the Canadiens just had 2. The Bruins with a 1-0 lead on the early goal by Barry Pedersen were checking very well, but suddenly the dam burst, and only for Peeters it would be much, much higher. Fergus and Flockhart. And the draw back to Robinson. 2 seconds. 1. He got the shot away, and it was blocked in front by O'Reilly and followed up with another slam in on Peeters. And the first period ends. The shots, 16 for Montreal, 3 for Boston. The score at the end of the first period is Montreal 2 and Boston 1. Stay tuned for our first intermission, featuring highlights of the Bruins' last 2 games with Quebec and Vancouver. Greater Nashua meets Brockton in mini 1-on-1 bantam competition. And John will review highlights of the first period.
104 FM, WBCN, your #1 rock and roll connection.
Yeah! Come on with me, trance like us. Baby, we were born to run.
Found the way downstairs and drank a cup. And looking up, I noticed I was late.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light.
The Rock of Boston, WBCN.
If you're shopping for a car or a new VCR or any major purchase and don't have money to burn, call this toll-free number and let Consumer Reports help you get the best deal for your money. Call now for Consumer Reports 1985 Buying Guide issue free and get the money-saving facts on over 2,000 brand name products. It's a gift with your paid subscription to Consumer Reports magazine. Look between the covers of each monthly issue and get a clear picture of which color TV edged out 16 popular brands, which fast foods were considered most nutritious, which cough remedy was judged unsafe by the FDA. Call now and get 11 regular issues of Consumer Reports plus 2 free gifts with your paid subscription. The 1985 Buying Guide issue and the Medicine Show. Plus, as part of your subscription, the 1986 Buying Guide issue when published, all for just $16.
Call 1-800-554-3838.
Store Communications, a major nationwide company offering outstanding entertainment, sports, and public affairs programs. In Boston, Store Communications is WSBK, TV 38, your home for Boston Bruins and Hockey East action. Red Sox baseball, great movies, and informative original community affairs programs. Throughout America, Store Communications is dedicated to quality service.
The game at the Forum tonight, and we're at the end of the first period. It's Canadiens 2 and the Bruins 1. This would be an awfully nice game for the Bruins to win because, as you know, things have been kind of tough of late. Last week, the Bruins hadn't won in their last 7 games, and another Adams Division banner looked out of reach. But the Bruins got off to a fast start against Quebec, and when Keith Crowder deflected in this shot, the Bruins were up 3-0. And as the third period got underway, Terry O'Reilly sent this pass over to Ray Bourque, then skated low in the slot to tap in the score for another 3-goal lead of 5-2. Don Silvestri, the Bruins goalie, in his first NHL start, had done well, turning away 19 shots in the first 2 periods, including a lot of rebounds in front of the net, and this shot by Peter Stastny. But the Bruins defense let down in the third. Quebec sent 15 shots on goal, 2 going in. Down just 5-4, the Nordiques pulled goalie Dan Bouchard, and with just 34 seconds left, Peter Stastny spoiled the Bruins' hopes of ending that ever-elongating winless streak. So on to overtime at 5-5, and it ended that way. So the Bruins were winless in 8 as goalie Richard Brodeur warmed up the Canucks. But Pete Peeters had the doctors okay and was back in goal for the Bruins, and it was a goalie's game, no score in the third period. Mike O'Connell's slap shot bounced in for a 1-0 Bruins lead, but nightmares and deja vu were on tap. With 9 seconds left, Thomas Gradin tied the score with a 15-footer. So into overtime again, where Kenny Linseman took a pass and deposited the puck for a 2-1 Bruins victory. A win, possibly a catalyst for a win streak.
The New Yorker, if it were like any other magazine, it couldn't possibly look like this. Now, wouldn't that be a shame? You see, week after week, the New Yorker publishes the best fact, fiction, humor, criticism, poetry, ideas, and entertainment guide in America. It's been called the best magazine in the world, probably the best magazine that ever was. See if you agree. Call this number and get 26 weekly issues of the New Yorker for just $16. That's $23 less than the cover price. Call now and you'll also receive this reproduction of the very first New Yorker, published in 1925. This collector's copy is free with your paid subscription if you act now. Call 1-800-554-3838. That's 1-800-554-3838 for 26 weekly issues of the best magazine in the world. Yes, the New Yorker.
What a deal from TV Guide. Yes, now you can call and get TV Guide home delivered for just pennies a day with 3 full months to pay. That's right, just $5.75 a month for 3 months gets you 30 exciting issues of TV Guide. That's the lowest price going, less than 8.5 cents a day. And TV Guide is a better deal than ever before, thanks to quick scan program grids, expanded program listings, sports schedules, detailed movie listings, including a section just for pay TV. TV Guide, brighter, bolder, breezier, so fact-packed, so feature-packed, it's a weekly encyclopedia of what's on and what's going on network, local, cable, and pay TV. So, if you've been thinking of subscribing to TV Guide, do it now. Call 800-554-3838 and get 30 weeks for 3 monthly installments of just $5.75 each. That's the lowest price going. What a deal. 800-554-3838.
Greater Nashua and Brockton chase the mini one-on-one Bantam Championship here next in the round-robin session. Our score at the end of the first period, Canadiens 2 and the Bruins 1. From Walter Brown Arena here on the campus of Boston University, Greater Nashua takes on Brockton. Round-robin Bantam competition now as TV 38 Sports presents Mini One-on-One. Mini One-on-One is brought to you by the Volkswagen dealers of New England. It's not just a car, it's a Volkswagen. There are 4 teams left now in the Bantam competition, and they will each play each other once in a round-robin competition to determine the Bantam Division champs for 84-85. Mini One-on-One brought to you by Volkswagen of New England. Gary Bessa will be along to help us with the trophy presentations when we finish this up.
And we have a truly New England contingent in the final round robin. One from Maine, one from New Hampshire, one from Mass, and one from Rhode Island.
Penalty shooter Gino Rancourt. And did he get that in? No, it's under the pad of Leo Giannatasio, the Brockton goaltender. So 0-0. Brockton with their first scoring opportunity. Number 16 is the penalty shooter, Mike.
Here's that
Sachisi.
On replay. Giannatasio moved over with that pad flush against the post. Good pad control, was able to stop the puck.
Now it's Mike Cachisi, number 16. Jerry Hannon in goal. Boy, was he active in the earlier match that Greater Nashua had. And it stays 0-0.
Again, there was a question there that I think he was moving a little too fast, had his head up, lost control.
2-on-1, Greater Nashua in the green. Number 8 carrying is Joel Sanborn. He's with Tim Dakai. Dakai with it, shoots, and Giannatasio had come out to make the save. Brockton trying and does get a scoring opportunity. Scott Harwell again, impressive defenseman. Very aggressive in his style and his approach. And he fires one in off the side of the net. And he, by himself, is giving Greater Nashua all they can handle. Still Hartwell controlling. And the times that he's been out there in this competition, 1 against 2, nobody's done nothing.
He's very aggressive. And by the way, though, let's not forget, Leo Giannatasio made an excellent save, read the play on when he cut the angle. But you got to give Hartwell a great amount of credit for his aggressive play.
Kevin Burke is number 21. He has it. With him is Salem Tabbitt for Brockton. Puck just a little bit out in front of Tabbitt. He goes into the corner. And Burke swoops in to try to scoop it up, but it's knocked loose. Still in the zone, though, and Tabbitt keeps it in. Burke coming in the right side. There are 14 seconds to go. Lines one up and fires, and a glove save. Nice glove save by Jerry Hannon from Nashua.
Nice little wrist shot there by Burke, and a nice glove save. Kept his eye on the puck, followed it right into the glove. Very important.
The face-off to Hannon's left. Burke trying to get it to Tabbitt. Burke with it with 6 seconds to go. And he may have something going here. Carries it in. His pass is over, but it got by Tabbitt, and the buzzer sounds. And there is still no score. After the 2-on-1s are completed, they'll set up for the 3-on-2s. We'll be back after this.
Don't believe everything you hear about the revolutionary new Volkswagen Jetta. The rumors about its roominess.
Want a lift?
The exaggerations about its German road car handling. And its trunk space. The one about the Volkswagen Jetta costing $79.94, it's $79.95. We hope this brings all those wild exaggerations to an end. Jetta, it's not a car, it's a Volkswagen.
Test drive the exciting new Jetta at your New England Volkswagen dealer.
Nashua with the 3-on-2 opportunity. This match is scoreless. This is the first of the round robin. The 4 remaining teams in the competition each play each other once. Nashua with the 3-on-2. Brockton shorthanded. Hartwell clears it down the other way. 15 seconds to play. Now 12. Nashua is going to have to hustle to get it down there, and man overskates it. That was Joel Sanborn. Now with 5 seconds and 4 to play. And there is a hit right in front of us. That's Hartwell again as he floors or ices Gino Rancourt. And no score as the buzzer sounds. Still 0-0. And out comes Brockton with their 3-on-2. Burke will be in the middle, centering, with Salem Tabbitt on his left and Mike Kachisi on his right. They started just a shade early.
Well, it's indicative of Brockton. Brockton is a very aggressive team, and they come out after it, and that's important in this type of competition.
And a goal here wins it. By the way, there will be no overtime. If it's a tie, both team gets a point, and that goes into their standings in the round robin round. Kachisi, his shot as he was trying to blast away was deflected by Jeff Morin just off to the left of the net, and Nashua clears it out down to the other end with 10 seconds, 9 and 8. Brockton's going to have to do some quick skating, get anything going at the other end. There are now just 3 seconds to go. Kachisi winds up from center ice. Hannon just lets it bounce off the pads. 0-0. It's a tie, and each team gets a point. And we'll see what happens as this competition continues. But this one ends in a scoreless tie.
The crew of the space shuttle has every benefit modern travel affords, with one possible exception. They don't have a frequent traveler bonus program like Eastern's. If they did, this crew would have earned 178 free trips to London, 52 to Rome, 30 to Egypt, and 2 to Walt Disney World. So if you fly a lot on business, join Eastern's frequent traveler bonus program and land in the most exciting places.
Hope we're going to a New Year's Eve party.
I'd prefer an office party.
I want to go to a school Christmas party.
McDonald's Chicken McNuggets 20-pack, the life of any holiday party.
How do I look?
Delicious. Golden brown is your color.
Whoopee! Let's go to a sleigh ride party. It's a good time for the great taste.
Parties, parties. That's all you 20-packs ever think of.
Of McDonald's.
Time for McDonald's gift certificates. $1 each or a book of 5 for $5.
You're looking for performance, count on the high quality of Exxon gasolines. And when you buy Exxon gasoline, count on the convenience of your Exxon credit card. Or pay cash and save with Discount for Cash. Either way, when you're looking for performance and value, look to Exxon. Quality you can count on.
Okay, guys, now time for our annual holiday greeting. Ready?
Ho, ho, ho! Happy holidays! Take the whole flip!
Happy holidays!
Season's greetings!
Sing time final.
Ruff, 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 ruff. Ruff, 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 ruff.
Season's greetings, TV 38. Happy holidays!
Season's greetings!
Happy holidays from all of us at TV 38.
Forgot season's greetings.
Season's greetings from all of us here at TV 38.
Got to say the Bruins very fortunate to get out of the first period down by just 1 goal. Montreal put on a fearsome attack on Pete Peeters for most of that first 20 minutes. It's just 2-1 Montreal, though. The Bruins scored first, shorthanded. Pedersen, 2:55 the time. Flockhart for Montreal tied it at 14:01 on a power play, and Nyland put him ahead at 16:04. Check the shots on goal. Montreal 16, Bruins 3. Second period now. Fred Cusick and John Pearson.
It's easy sometimes up here in the protected booth. But when the skating stops, sometimes the aggressive thinking does too. Now we want to show you the second Canadiens goal. Right here, this is number 8, Turcotte. And look at into your picture comes 3 Canadiens and 3 Bruins. And not a Bruin is near a Canadian. Now that is not good checking your own end. Turcotte over to Nyland. Now watch Peeters. He makes a very good move here across the net. And Nyland's lucky on this play. Tucks it between the pads. Most players would go upstairs or in one of the corners. But Nyland is not a great goal scorer, and he just winged it towards the net. Got a little bit of a break. But the lack of skating and the lack of checking has made the Bruins come a cropper. Here in the first period, they were doing fine till about the 12-minute mark, and then all of a sudden, they stopped skating, and the Canadiens realized it, turned the jets on, and boy, they pumped up a lot of shots on Pete Peeters, who played very well here in the first period. Total shots on goal, 16 for the Canadiens, 3 for the Bruins. On that last goal, Nyland from Turcotte and Curvers at 16:04, and that Jacques Lemaire. Great center iceman for the Canadiens. Over 400 NHL goals. He could really move.
He took over for Bob Berry in February last year, and then, of course, at the playoffs, really surprised everybody. Had Steve Penny in goal, and ever since the playoffs, the Canadiens have picked it up as we look at Jerry Cheevers, very concerned behind the Boston bench, as Washington leads Quebec by a score of 2-0 on goals by Gartner and Duchesne. Here it is 2-1 Montreal. And Boston starting Steve Casper, Jim Nill, and Louis Slager, trying to slow down the Canadiens' attack. Ray Bourque starts it out. Up for Casper. Casper clearing in. And back for Ludwig. Around the boards, Tallinn trying to keep it in. Nyland makes a good play and gets it out. But the pass blocked by Bourque as Walter tried to set up his winger Turcotte. Turcotte is from Milford, Michigan, born in Gary, Indiana. Alfie Turcotte, drafted 2 years ago by the Canadiens. So he's one of the 6 Americans. Bruins break it up, and Simmer keeps it in the corner. Fires it across, it deflected right on Penny, and Penny made the stop. Ludwig starts it out. Pass stopped by Ray Bourque. Bourque for Casper for Simmer. And it's cleared in wide. Svoboda and Crowder go to the corner, and Crowder tips it away. Milbury trying to keep it in. It's blocked, and out come the Canadiens. Hunter, partial breakaway, and the shot forced wide by O'Connell, getting back on him. And breaking back Crowder. Crowder with Simmer over the line. Checked. Puck follows in, but now it's knocked away, and Hunter starts it off. In the center ice looking for Flockhart. Flockhart losing to Mike O'Connell. Now for Keith Crowder. 2-1 Montreal leads. Crowder hits Simmer up the left wing side. Simmer spins away from the check, gets it to Milbury, who came up. Milbury drops it in front, but it is covered by Svoboda. He can't clear it. Linsman kept it in. Trying to set up Charlie Simmer. Simmer looking for some help. Has O'Reilly, passes up, but Tremblay intercepts. Now to Mondeau. Mondeau with Naslund. Broken up by Mike O'Connell as the Bruins check as they did in the early minutes of the first period. And 2 minutes played here in the second. Montreal leads 2-1. Mondeau back to Tremblay. Mario in his 11th season in the league. The pass across block. Mondeau able to keep it in with a good play to Naslund. Quick shot missed. Short side. Mondeau keeps it in, rolls it back for Naslund. Naslund for Tremblay. Broken up on a sweep check by Mike O'Connell. Boston changing up as Dave Donnelly moves to keep it in. Bruins almost did, but Tremblay now back for his defenseman Tom Curvers over to Robinson, and it's cleared. Bourque moves it up. Mondeau knocks it back. Deflects to Naslund. Naslund wraps it in wide of Pete Peeters. Now Bourque starts it away for Fergus. Fergus in the center ice. His pass stopped by Alfie Turcotte. Swept it away, and Tallinn intercepts. John Blum, a pass up. Intercepted by Nyland. Nyland can't move in. And Mats Tallinn, the rookie, gets it out to Fergus. Fergus winding up, breaks to center ice with O'Reilly. And he's checked on the play by Ryan Walter. And back comes Turcotte. He's got speed, and he can't move in, as the Bruins are checking better, and that's the first thing they have to do. And they're doing it well now in the second period. Blum drives it in around the boards. Knocked over the line by Tallinn, knocked away by Walter. And covering is Dave Silk in the Boston zone. John Blum starts it off with Tallene. Into center ice to Pedersen. He's broken up by Deblois. Deblois to Gainey, and they can't move in as Pedersen gets it back. Falls down. Middleton takes over for Tallene. Tallene checked, and Chelios fires it away. Racing for it, Carbonneau and Blum. Peeters helps out, knocks it to the corner. Gainey takes over. A pass right on the stick of Silk. Silk can't set up Middleton on the breakout. But the Bruins are defending well, and that's the first thing. And the puck cleared in. Back for it, Mike Milbury. Icing waved off. Milbury starts it out. Up to Silk. Connects. Silk sweeps it in around the boards. Going for it, Pedersen. And he missed it. And Bob Gainey starts back with Deblois. Gainey just drops it in the Boston end. 2-1, Montreal leads. And 15:47 left in the second period. Mike Milbury at the Boston line. He's on defense with O'Connell. Now Charlie Simmer off for O'Connell. O'Connell drives it in. Around the boards goes Linsman. Linsman drives it in on Penny, but not a hard shot, and it's tied up for a faceoff. With the score, Montreal 2, Boston 1. Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.
MVP, the classic salute to achievement in sport. MVP means value and performance. In sports equipment, MVP means value and performance, too. That's why Coleman's and Woburn and Danvers gave the MVP to these top performers. These MVPs are from New Balance, CCM, and Head, Tyrolia, Tunturi, and Converse. And these MVPs are on sale. So get the MVPs. They're at Coleman's and Woburn and Danvers. Look for the MVP sale tag.
Face-off in the Montreal zone to the right of Steve Penny. Ken Lensman not 100%. That left shoulder obviously still bothers him. You can tell it on backhand shots. He takes the draw here. Some occasions he has Simmer do it. Simmer is out there with Crowder, Bourque, and Blum. 15:24 left in the second period. 2-1 Montreal. Mondeau and Linsman. Linsman trying to drop it back. Bourque gets it. Fires. Save Penny. Rebound Linsman for Crowder. Crowder wheels. Scores! Keith Crowder from Ken Linsman and Ray Bourque after a face-off. And Crowder ties the game at 2.
Two nice plays here. Watch Linsman on the face-off, but he'll retrieve the puck, get it back to Bourque, who'll drive it. But watch this play by Linsman right here on the rebound. Comes through the center, drops it to Crowder. Now Crowder could shoot right there, but he doesn't. He holds it. Penny goes down. Crowder takes it by him, and up in the top corner, Crowder, a beautiful shot. Linsman will get an assist, and possibly Ray Bourque. 4:45 the time. Second period, it's tied at 2-2 as the Bruins have countered 4 shots on goal to none for the Canadiens here in the second period.
Keith Crowder from Linsman and Bourque. 15:15 left in the second period as Boston ties it up, and they playing in this second period as they did at the outset of the game after Pedersen got them an early score. Let's see if they can contain Montreal here. Blum stops Flockhart, and Bourque to O'Reilly, and they break it out. Up the middle comes Fergus, off to Donnelly. Good pass. Donnelly in deep. Chelios after him. Drops it in front, and it's deflected away. O'Reilly with it. O'Reilly in front. Fergus shot. Save Penny. And that was Donnelly, rather. O'Reilly gets it. O'Reilly in front. The shot, and he just missed the far side as the Bruins put the heat on. Donnelly for Bourque. Bourque broke it up. Covered by Blum. Blum to O'Reilly. O'Reilly off for Donnelly. Up to O'Reilly over the line. Going deep on Chelios. Breaks away. Drops it in front. Fergus couldn't get the handle to it as it is Chelios trying to knock it away, and O'Connell keeps it in. And now the Bruins take over on the attack. Keeping it in. Fergus into the corner. Donnelly there too. Out of the boards. It breaks to the Canadiens. McPhee. Now Flockhart. A speedster. Ridden off by O'Connell and broken up by Peeters. O'Connell in deep, checked by McPhee. Tied up for a face-off. 6 minutes into the second period. The game tied at 2.
And the tying goal, Keith Crowder, his 8th of the year, from Linsman and Ray Bourque at 4:45 second period. Tied at 2 each. Winnipeg is at the New York Islanders, the Nassau Coliseum in the first period. Winnipeg out in front 2-1. Lukowicz and Steen have scored for the Jets. For the Islanders, John Tonelli.
Ryan Walter against Steve Casper. Just about 6 minutes played in the face-off to the right of Pete Peeters. Boston now with 5 shots on Penny in the second period, none for the Canadiens. Nyland keeps it in. Svoboda wraps it in, and the return pass intercepted by Slager. He's out. Casper free on the right wing, and can't get it across to him. Nil trying to keep it in. Fires in deep. Casper checked there by Nyland. Nil moves in. Svoboda, and they tie it up, and a face-off in the Canadian zone. Slager had Casper busting wide on the right and open, but of course easy to see it up here.
I think Louis Slager saw Casper over there, but tried to make that last little fake, and the puck came up on edge, and he lost that advantage as Casper went by the point of where he could have gotten him the pass.
Casper with Nil and Slager. O'Connell and Milbury face off to the left of Penny. 13:45 left in the second period. 2-2 the score. Bruins trying to keep it in, and Nyland able to work it out. Casper now trying to come back with it. Taps it back in wide. Rick Green on defense with Craig Ludwig. Green, ex-Washington cap, off for Ludwig. Ludwig drops it out. The Bruins checking well. Finally, Turcotte gets it. Turcotte over the line, stopped, and Slager fires it right out. Nyland checked by O'Connell. Nyland broken up by Slager, but it bounces to the Canadian defense, and they control it, and Ludwig works at center ice. Slager starts it right back. Off for Casper. Casper fires! Left pad save by Penny. Got it down nicely. The puck batted out by Ludwig. Unaccountably, the Canadiens are back in their heels, and the Bruins have the edge in play in the second period. Here's a shot in by Tallinn to save the rebound, and Silk gets it off in the corner. Silk losing, and Gainey has it. Gainey starts it out, the captain of the Canadiens, gets it away to Carbonneau, a speedster. First shot on Peeters in the period, and he deflects the rebound into the stands. And with the score, Boston 2 and Montreal 2, let's pause for this message.
Hi, I'm John Popel, owner of Wellesley Toyota. We've made Wellesley Toyota one of the largest selling Toyota dealerships in the United States by discounting every new Toyota passenger car and truck in stock every day, not just on special occasions. We've got one of the largest inventories in New England. So if you want immediate delivery and the lowest price anywhere on a new Toyota, the place for you is Wellesley Toyota, 128 and Route 9 in Wellesley. Nobody sells 1984 Toyotas for less.
Draw in the Canadian zone. The Bruins work it out. Breaking Middleton with Fergus over the line and follow up. And it's kept in by Pedersen. Pedersen going behind the net. Now trying to make his play. Drops it for Middleton. Middleton can't center it. And Gainey clears it out to center ice. But the Bruins have taken over in the second period. Carried the play, and Keith Crowder tied the game. Barry Pedersen the other scorer. At center ice, Tallinn overskated it. Back to get it again. Now breaks over the line with Pedersen. In deep for Pedersen. Pedersen looking for Middleton. He's checked by Carbonneau. Hooked down, and Carbonneau goes out as Middleton took a heavy hook from Guy Carbonneau. And Boston has a power play. 11:59 left in the second period. From the Forum, the score, Boston 2 and Montreal 2.
That weather looks pretty bad.
Good.
Why not take advantage of favorable business climates by calling your retailers for even more orders?
Hey, I like the sound of that.
That's telemarketing.
Sure, I can get 2 dozen extra umbrellas out to you this afternoon.
When you spot an opportunity, use telemarketing to sell even more than you forecasted.
Come on, pick up the phone, now you're on your way to doing more business every business day.
Boston had a 25-second power play in the first period, but they're going to get an opportunity here. Middleton hauled down from behind by net gentleman 21, Guy Carbonneau. And he's off at 8:01, second period.
Jerry Cheevers has Tom Fergus with Simmer and Linsman up front, and Bork and O'Connell, and Simmer gets it in deep, clears it around for Linsman, back for O'Connell. Now to Bork. Bork shot blocked by Mondu. O'Connell winding up at the Boston line. Now for Ray Bourque. Naslund is a penalty killer. Got to watch him. Here comes Fergus over the line. Fergus all the way across for Bourque. Bourque rips it off, and Penny made the stop. Good save there. Back at the point, Bourque able to drive it across, but outside the line. O'Connell has to wait. O'Connell holding against the forechecking of Bondu. Gives it off to Ray Bourque. Bourque over the line. Simmer protecting across for Fergus. Fergus holding, weaving. Now drops it back for O'Connell. In for Fergus. Fergus coming off the corner. The shot blocked. Bounces for Ray Bourque at the left point. Power play Boston. 2-2 the score. Shot by O'Connell deflected wide. Fought for deep. In Fergus to Simmer. Simmer trying to make his play now. Rolls it back. A slow bouncing puck for O'Connell. O'Connell in for Fergus. Fergus from that right side to Simmer. Simmer wheel scores! Charlie Simmer! A power play goal set up by Fergus and O'Connell. And Boston leads 3-2.
Beautiful passing here by Fergus and Simmer. But watch this play now. I want to show you something here that Simmer is so good at. Here's Fergus from O'Connell in the corner now to Simmer. Watch him look in front. Right there. And Penny sort of looked a little bit, and he picked the far corner. Beautiful play by Charlie Simmer. And the Bruins take a 3-2 lead here in the second period. Power play goal. Simmer from Fergus and O'Connell on good, sharp passing. And the goal comes at 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Second period.
So Boston really hard-pressed over the last half of that first period. Come back to take the lead. One shot by the Canadiens. Breaking now is Alfie Turcotte. He clears it in wide. Rebounding to Nyland. Nyland can't drive it in on Peeters. Casper back to get it. And the Canadiens are beating the Bruins to that puck off the lively boards. The Bruins break it out now. Casper over the line. Can't move in. Starts the play again. Is checked by Nyland. Gets it to Tallene. A broken stick. Chris Nyland. He's over to the bench to get a new one. In deep. Svoboda checked on the play. Nil keeps it in. Nil in deep to Slager. Slager behind the net. Hit by Walter. Still battles for it. Robinson able to clear it up, but Blum takes over. As Boston has taken over in this period, but now Nyland steals from Blum, gets it off for Turcotte. Turcotte sweeps around Blum, out for Nyland. The shot blocked by Tallene, and Tallene clears it up, but not out. Svoboda keeps it in, rolls away. Nyland trying to center it. It's taken by Casper. Casper able to work it up and out, and keeps going and shoves it in the Canadian end. 9:41 left in the second period. Boston has taken the lead on a power play goal by Charlie Simmer. Flockhart moves it up. McPhee in the right wing side goes deep behind the net, can't move it in front. Good play by Peeters, and he trapped the puck, and a face-off called. And you're watching Bruins hockey from the Forum in Montreal.
The big money season ticket is the simplest way to give someone a shot at $1 million. Because once they have it, they don't have to do a thing. They're automatically entered in every drawing. We'll even let them know if they win. So if you only do one thing this year, give someone a big money season ticket.
A complete turnaround for the Bruins from the last 8 minutes of the first period to about the 11-minute mark here in the second. And boy, they have really skated well, checked the Canadiens, and have played good positional hockey.
Pedersen now behind the Boston net. Off to Dave Donnelly, and the puck is cleared out to center ice. Hunter starting for the Canadiens, who have had just one shot on Peeters, and the Bruins check and break up the play, trying to capitalize. Chelios, though, able to move it up, and Flockhart trying to clear it out, stopped by Milbury. Milbury closes, fires, kick out save by Penny. Rebound, O'Reilly can't set up Pedersen. Pedersen, Donnelly, O'Reilly, and Jerry Cheevers has shaken up his lines. The puck goes to center ice. Pedersen breaks up the play. Terry O'Reilly winding up for Boston. Into center ice, off from Milbury, and it's cleared in wide of Penny. 8:45 left in the second period. 3-2 Boston as Simmer put the Bruins ahead. Assist to Fergus and O'Connell on that power play goal. Long pass by the Canadiens. Bounces to Peeters. Peeters trying to knock it away. Deblois in deep. Pokes it behind the net. Gainey there. Gainey trying to drop it off, and O'Reilly helping out to Simmer. O'Reilly and Gainey both go down heavily. And near the net, O'Reilly an extra check, and the Bruins break it out. A good chance here. Bork with it over the line on the right wing side. Drops it off for Linsman. A shot blocked. Oh, a screen in front. Simmer might have blocked that one. And Gainey breaks it out. Gainey with Deblois. Deblois. A shot blocked by Keith Crowder playing on defense for Bork. Linsman trying to break it out. Can't do it. And Bork takes over behind the Boston net. 3-2 the Bruins lead. Coming back very strong in the second period to take that lead. Goals by Keith Crowder and Charlie Simmer. And Simmer, Linsman has it in the corner. Trying to drop it in front for Nil. Can't connect. Cheevers has changed his lines. Out breaks Tremblay, but he's alone for the most part. Now Naslin out to join him. Easy shot tipped away by Peeters. Might not have been on net. The Bruins clear it away. Mondu now with it. Back to Svoboda. The 18-year-old rookie from Czechoslovakia moves it up to Naslin. Top goal scorer clears it in. Right wing side, Bork and Tremblay going for it. Bork dug it away. Gets it around the boards. Not out. Robinson keeps it in. Mondu to Tremblay. The centering pass knocked away by Peeters. Robinson able to drive it in deep. Off the boards. Tremblay, Bork go for it. Now Naslin. Casper. And Lewis, the referee, was trapped there, so he blew the whistle. And we have more great hockey action coming up on TV 38 tomorrow night. Hartford Civic Center. The Bruins and Whalers square off at 7:30 p.m. Saturday night, the Bruins travel to Toronto to meet the Maple Leafs for the first time this season. Face-off is 8 o'clock. Catch all the action right here on WSBK TV 38. The goals, Crowder is 8th from Linsman at Bork at 4:45. Charlie Simmer is 15th from Fergus and O'Connell at 9:13. First period, Pedersen unassisted for Boston. Flockhart and Nyland scored for Montreal. 7:04 left in the second period. The Canadiens with one shot, and the Bruins have 9. Mondu on the draw with Pedersen. Pedersen's out with Middleton again, and Fergus playing at left wing. Tallinn able to clear it away. Middleton handle it nicely, breaks with Pedersen coming up. He goes deep on Svoboda and almost set up Pedersen cutting in. Couldn't do it. Svoboda clears it around, and Mario Tremblay trying to come out, checked by Pedersen. And they both go down. The puck on the boards. Under Pedersen and a face-off.
I think I like this combination, Fred, with Tom Fergus on that left side. Now, previous to that, Cheevers has felt that a checker was the guy to have with Pedersen and Middleton. They're the playmakers. They're the passers. They have been unable to get going. Now they've got Fergus on that left side, who's a playmaker and a good shooter. He may be the guy who will get the puck to them at the proper moment to get them going. Instead of them trying to make the plays, maybe Fergus could make it for them. And I kind of like that. Good move.
The left winger with Pedersen and Middleton is Fergus. Boston leads 3-2 on second period goals by Crowder and Simmer as they've taken over in the second period, outshot the Canadiens 9-1, and we have 6:38 left in the second period. Bob Gainey checked by O'Connell. Middleton trying to move it out. Gainey able to keep it in. It bounces for Carbonneau. Carbonneau trying to cut in. Broken up. Gainey followed up with a shot that went wide. The puck bounced for the Canadiens there. And Fergus trying to move it out. Can't. O'Connell intercepts. O'Connell plays the boards, can't move it out. Deblois now checked, breaks away from Fergus, fires across in front, but it bounces to Middleton. O'Connell knocked down Carbonneau. They yell for a call. There is none by Brian Lewis. Fergus checks the play on Curvers, and back for it now, Chelios. Chelios winding up. Forced to pass it, and Slager intercepts. Slager controlling. Comes back, good pass to Casper over the line. Chelios to beat the shot. Kicked out by Penny. Rebound kept in by Milbury. The Canadiens break it free. Turcotte now to Deblois. They clear it over the line. O'Connell takes Turcotte out of the play. And the Bruins control it with 5:35 left in the second period. Boston leading 3-2. Milbury weaves center ice. From the center line, drives it in. Bruins forecheck. Ryan Walter, a hard hit on Milbury. The Canadiens clear the puck, but John Blum replaces Milbury and takes over. Milbury okay on the Boston bench as Walter tagged him. Green wrapped up by Jim Nill. Nyland checked on the play, and Fergus back out there again, drops it off for Blum, and Blum clears it up. 5 minutes left in the second period. Blum trying to break up the play on Turcotte. Just fires it right out of the zone. 3-2 Boston leads on a power play goal by Charlie Simmer. Right now, Blum intercepts on the Canadiens and fires it out. Almost hit Brian Lewis. It eludes Ludwig and goes all the way wide of Penny. Bruins checking all over the ice as they did at the start of the game after Peterson's shorthanded goal gave them a 1-0 lead. Dave Donnelly back on the left. Called up from Hershey. He's out with Fergus and O'Reilly. So Fergus is back at center ice again. Maybe Silk was hurt. Breaking out, Flockhart with that speed with McPhee. Holds the pass and is checked all the way by O'Connell. Followed him nicely. Goes back to Svoboda. Shot and a save by Peeters. And right in front, it is Hunter. Tried to line it up and he missed it. Lost the puck, never got the shot away. And O'Reilly is back over the line. And he's broken up on the play. Hunter had the great chance on the follow-up as the Canadiens had their best threat of the second period. Boston leads 3-2, 4 minutes left. Robinson checked by O'Reilly. Svoboda clears it around for Hunter. And the right wing starts it out. Checked all the way on the play. McPhee gets it free to Flockhart. Flockhart can't move in on the Boston defense. Bork broke him up. Linsman with that speed breaks center ice over the line. Picking up Simmer. Drops it for Bork. Bork is broken up by Tremblay. Tremblay flattens Linsman. Oh, a heavy hit there. And he used lumber and everything on him. And it really erupts. And Tremblay will be for sure getting a penalty here as he pounded Linsman after belting him down. And second period action will continue from the Forum in a moment.
You wouldn't buy any truck just because it's the #1 seller. You'd look for value, as in Toyota 4x4 sport trucks. More standard horsepower than any small 4x4. The only import 4xs with electronic fuel injection. And extra cabs have more legroom plus extra storage space. The best-selling small trucks are 19 models strong, now at your Toyota dealers. See your New England Toyota dealer and compare. He delivers value.
Watch this cross-check by Tremblay. Now, there's good body contact. One by Tremblay, but watch right here. Oh, he got a 2-minute cross-checking penalty for that. A vicious cross-check with Tremblay on top of Linsman, his back face to the ice, and he just gave him a wicked two-hander. Intent to injury can draw a 5-minute major penalty. And the referee in this particular instance gives Tremblay a 2-minute minor penalty for cross-checking. And the penalty comes at 16:23 second period. The Bruins out in front, 3-2.
Looking at the Boston bench and Jerry Cheevers as out goes Tremblay with 3:37 left in the second period for a cross-check. The Boston scorers, Barry Pedersen shorthanded, Keith Crowder teams at full strength, and Charlie Simmer a power play. Ron Flockhart a power play, and Chris Nyland for Montreal in the first period. Boston out shooting Montreal in the second period, 10-2 at this point. Peterson out with Fergus and Simmer, Bork, and Simmer breaks over the line. Holding on the left wing side. Now back to Ray Bork, who's on with O'Connell. For O'Connell. O'Connell clears it into Fergus. Fergus flips it for Bork. Bork for Peterson. A bouncing puck, though, hard to control. Green ties up Peterson. Jams it on the boards and gets a whistle just as Carbonneau got it free and started to clear the puck. Face off inside the Canadian line. And a break in the action. Let's pause for station identification.
WSBK-TV, Boston.
Well, we're going to keep you abreast of a very interesting event coming up, the Beanpot Masters Tournament, the first annual Beanpot Masters hockey tournament. We'll give you more of that in a moment.
Carbonneau and Fergus on the draw. Fergus out with Linsman, and it's back to Bork. Bork holding. Good play, fake. Carbonneau fires, save, Penny. Oh, what a sharp save as Bork blistered that. Fergus flips it for Bork. Across for O'Connell. In the Linsman, looking for Simmer. It's broken up by Carbonneau. And cleared by Ludwig. 1:19 left on Tremblay's penalty. Chris Nyland is serving it. Tremblay went to the dressing room. Might have been cut in the action, but he committed the foul. Over the line, Fergus drops it for Mike O'Connell. Into Fergus. Back for O'Connell again, and he can't contain it. Has to start it again. Boston has a power play goal by Charlie Simmer, a difference in the game. Ray Bourque winding up for the Bruins, 48 seconds left. Away to Fergus. Fergus over the line, moving well. Off for Middleton, in, shot, save, score, and it's Keith Crowder. Crowder on the follow-up on a power play goal by Boston. Middleton will get an assist along with Fergus, and the Bruins lead 4-2.
You want to see acceleration. Watch this Fergus now through center, turning it on. What a great play. Over to Middleton off the left skate. He cut in. Penny made the stop, but here comes Keith Crowder with a nice soft backhander into that open corner. But the big play right there was the acceleration of Tom Fergus through center ice, which caught the Canadiens' defense flat-footed, and Middleton slipped in behind it. The pass was off his left skate, but he played it beautifully, and Crowder gets the goal. Fergus and Middleton will get assists. Power play, 4-2 Boston.
Puck fed in, and after it nil against Chelios, they battle behind the net. Walter clears it around to Turcotte, and the puck bounces out to center ice, and Tallinn with it, clearing it away, and Boston has a 4-2 lead with 1:52 left. Back comes Turcotte for Walter. Walter wrapped up by Tallinn, and in deep it is John Blum. Around the boards looking for Nil. Chelios blocked it. Now it bounces to Tallinn. Tallinn around the boards looking for Slager. He can't get it. Fired back in. Missed the net. The long rebound. Jim Nil able to clear it out as he takes a heavy hit from Walter. And it breaks down the Canadian end, and Slager has it. In deep. Misfires as he moves it near Penny. 1:21 left in the period. Dominated by the Bruins as they take over the lead with 3 goals. Nyland, who has a score, breaks over the line, goes on Bourque, and he's spilled by Bourque in deep. Taking over Mike Milbury. Up for Donnelly, out for Pedersen. Cleared in. O'Reilly's on the right wing. Around the boards, O'Reilly trying to keep it in. Knocked it down, a high pass. It rolls around the boards, fighting for it Donnelly, and McPhee breaks free and goes to Hunter, to Chelios, but at center ice, stopped by Milbury. Milbury battling Flockhart. Flockhart got it away, and it's broken up by the Bruins. Peterson's pass goes into the Bruins bench, and here's a fight now. Hunter pounding away on Dave Donnelly. Dave Donnelly victimized by Hunter with 41 seconds left in the second period, and Boston leading 4-2, and a goal by Crowder, his second from Fergus and Middleton. And we're in the second period with the score of Boston 4 and Montreal 2.
Robert Parrish and Terry O'Reilly at the Scotch and Sirloin.
I think I'll order the prime rib.
Very good, Mr. Parrish. And you, sir?
I think I'll have the teriyaki sirloin, please.
Very good, sir.
Robert, how come he knows your name and he doesn't know mine?
I don't know. Perhaps I'm just a bigger tipper.
The Scotch and Sirloin, 77 North Washington Street. Just a fast break from the garden.
Okay, who's the teriyaki?
He's the teriyaki.
Oh, really?
No, O'Reilly.
And Dave Donnelly, 19:19 the time, second period.
Boston with 2 power play goals in their second period to take the lead after Keith Crowder tied it up, and Keith Crowder has 2 scores. Ludwig clears it in, each team short a man. He was hit by Bourque. Around the boards, it's kept in by McPhee. Loses to Linsman. Linsman gets it out to Tom Fergus, off for Bourque. Bruins attack. Bourque over the line, drops it for Fergus. The shot, and it's hit the arm of Penny, and save. Drop for Tallinn, and Tallinn wraps it back in. 15 seconds left in the second period. 4-2, the Bruins in front. Washington leads Quebec 4-0. Jets and Islanders are tied at 2. Canadiens clear it out. And the second period, a great one for the Bruins. Boston with 14 shots, and Montreal with just 2, a complete reversal. And the score at the end of the second period is Boston 4 and Montreal 2. Stay tuned for our second intermission, featuring Tom Larson with hockey trivia, special feature on retired superstar Guy Lafleur. Tom returns with hockey update, and John will review highlights of the second period.
Smile! Is that the new Nikon? Yes. Get in there and I'll get your picture. Just push the button.
Announcing the Nikon One Touch.
Oh, is that the Nikon? Let me.
A lightweight 35mm camera that anyone can use.
Just push. Is that the new Nikon?
Just push.
Even if they've never picked one up before.
Just push.
The autofocus, auto flash, auto everything Nikon One Touch. Now everyone can take great pictures.
Say cheese!
If you're shopping for a car or a new VCR or any major purchase and don't have money to burn, call this toll-free number and let Consumer Reports help you get the best deal for your money. Call now for Consumer Reports 1985 Buying Guide issue free and get the money-saving facts on over 2,000 brand-name products. It's a gift with your paid subscription to Consumer Reports magazine. Look between the covers of each monthly issue and get a clear picture of which color TV edged out 16 popular brands, which fast foods were considered most nutritious, which cough remedy was judged unsafe by the FDA. Call now and get 11 regular issues of Consumer Reports plus 2 free gifts with your paid subscription. The 1985 Buying Guide issue and the Medicine Show. Plus, as part of your subscription, the 1986 Buying Guide issue when published, all for just $16.
Call 1-800-554-3838.
And now, the 11 o'clock news. Good evening. Our top stories tonight. In Geneva, high-level negotiations are stalled again. In London, the royal family is in for a royal surprise. And on Beacon Hill, another marathon budget debate is... And in Foxborough, the Patriots...
Now that MASH has moved to 11 p.m., the best news at 11 isn't the news at all. MASH, weeknights at 11, only on WSPK, TV 38.
Well, at the Forum, now at the end of 2 periods, the Bruins lead the Montreal Canadiens 4-2. At Hockey Trivia tonight, once again brought to you by WBCN FM 104, the #1 rock and roll connection. Over the good part of a century, there have been bunches of dramatic, famous, if you will, goals scored at the Garden. Bobby Orr's overtime goal against St. Louis in '70 that provided a cup is one of those. Brad Park's dramatic overtime score in the 7th game of the series with Buffalo in the '83 semifinals was without question another. But the old building has also been the scene of some great individual landmarks. Tonight, we're looking for a man who scored his 600th career goal at the Garden and the goaltender that he beat to get it. And we'll have the answer, of course, later on in the intermission. The Flower has hung him up. Guy Lafleur retiring and rather abruptly earlier in the season after writing another page into Canadiens hockey scrapbook.
To use the word superstar in hockey circles, the name of Wayne Gretzky comes to mind. His astronomical point-scoring totals over the past 5 years defy imagination. But the NHL's greatest star before the arrival of Gretzky was Guy Lafleur of the Montreal Canadiens. Where Gretzky goes about his job in a rather workmanlike manner, Lafleur was the opposite. He was, to use a time-worn phrase, poetry in motion. With his hair flowing against a self-made wind, Lafleur would streak up right wing and bring nightmares to opposing goaltenders.
Lemire in for Lafleur. He's in! Scores! Guy Lafleur holding for the backhand till Gilbert was out and down. And Lafleur makes it 5-1.
The bulk of his career saw Lafleur play for a Montreal team that was filled with stars. There was Ken Dryden in goal. Serge Savard and Larry Robinson were fortresses on defense. There were gifted forwards like Jacques Lemaire and Yvon Cornoyer. But the brightest star was the glitter cast by Lafleur. 6 times he was a first-team All-Star. He led the league in scoring 3 times, and for a span of 6 consecutive years, he scored 50 or more goals. He also played on 5 Stanley Cup championship teams. Every goaltender was fair game as far as Lafleur was concerned, and they all felt the result of his blistering shot. Despite his vast talent, there were no petty jealousies among his peers. He was an act of class. He had filled the Bellevaux image well. Bruins coach and former goaltender Jerry Cheevers had many confrontations with Lafleur and came away with nothing but respect for the man.
Well, first of all, you hate to see a player of Lafleur's talent and charisma and energy leave the game, because he's been a great player for a number of years, and he just added class to the game, too. I think he quietly was a leader for the Canadiens. And he was just a fantastic player, too. He was, I think when I think of him, I just think of class. I remember a playoff game, too, and he beat me on the short side, and I was trying to read the play, and I saw Robinson come down the middle, and as soon as I took my eye off Lafleur, he just blew it by me, too. And I was silly enough to think that I could read the play and still react to Lafleur, but he just beat me, and you can't do that. You gotta react to Lafleur himself at all times.
Another Bruin who knew the Lafleur game as well as any player in the league is Terry O'Reilly. They were both first-round draft choices in 1971, and as a result, sort of grew together. Terry was also a first-hand witness to what probably was Lafleur's greatest goal, a goal that may very well have denied the Bruins a Stanley Cup championship.
In the 7-game series we had in the semifinals against Montreal, we had a 2-goal lead, I think, going into the third period, and we got caught with too many men in the ice. They had a power play, and Guy Lafleur stepped in over the blue line on the far boards and slapped a shot inside the post to tie the game up, and we lost it in overtime. So I think that was the closest we've come to winning the Stanley Cup in years.
The Lafleur era ended on Monday, November 26, 1984, when he announced his retirement from the game he played so well.
I was thinking about getting back at it this year and having a good year. As you know, I didn't score 20 goals in 20 games. That's why I decided to talk about it with my family, my wife, and this morning I took the decision to retire.
In Lafleur's wake are left the eye-boggling numbers of 518 career goals and 1,246 points. But more important are the memories of a player who had the charisma that very few others ever attained. As Grantland Rice wrote of the great Babe Ruth, "The big guy's gone and left us with the night to face, and there is no one else to take his place." Similar sentiments are being felt in Montreal.
You're about to see an unusual race. 3 European performance sedans against the all-new Toyota Cressida.
Go get him, James.
The Cressida is a luxury car with limousine-style comfort and features. And the new Cressida's independent suspension and electronically fuel-injected twin-cam 6 fits right in with its European counterparts. The Toyota Cressida. It's up with the best of them in every way but one. Price.
Did we win, James? By about $15,000, sir.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
Every year they come, ready to make their mark on the world. However, getting ahead in the real world takes more than an education. It takes an education that works. That's what you can get from Northeastern University. Northeastern's cooperative plan of education gives you a head start on your career, because you'll alternate periods of classroom study with career-related paid employment. Co-op gives you the experience you need to find a good job while you earn an average of $6,200 yearly, which can pay for a significant part of your education. And Northeastern offers you a wide choice of majors, more than 70 quality undergraduate programs, each with a co-op plan.
Well, I think I have a bug.
Remember, you'll need more than good grades to leave your mark on the world. You'll need an education that works.
Welcome to the company. It's great to be here.
To find out how you can get an education that works, call Northeastern for a brochure today at 1-800-554-3838. That's 1-800-554-3838. Northeastern University. Education that works.
Now, it could be you've already gotten the word on this, but the record that Wayne Gretzky is currently chasing to be the fastest ever to reach 1,000 points in the NHL doesn't belong to whom we had believed. The record book says Marcel Dionne got there in 740 games and that's the record. Well, Somebody found out otherwise. Guy Lafleur did it, got his 1,000 points in 720 games. Boy, it is still mind-boggling to think that the next time Gretzky goes out, it will be only his 425th game, and he will likely get his 1,000th point in 295 fewer games than did Lafleur. Now, we're at the end of 2 periods of tonight's game, Bruins-Montreal at the Forum, and the score is the Bruins 4 and Montreal 2 now. And there are 3 others tonight in the National Hockey League. We'll check the updated scores here. The Bruins-Montreal 4-2 at the intermission there. You have Washington playing Quebec, and the situation in the second period is a 4-0 lead for the Caps. Duchesne, Gartner, Laughlin, and Carpenter. Bobby Carpenter's 26th goal is the 4th one of the night for Washington. Winnipeg and the Islanders tied at 2-2. That game is now in the second period. Los Angeles and Calgary will be getting underway just a little bit later on in Calgary. Now, we'll be back and recap the scoring in the first 2 periods in a moment. The score is the Bruins 4, Montreal 2. First, though, the answer to that trivia question. There aren't many who manage to reach the 500-goal plateau, much less 600. Back on October the 30th, 1975, though, to hide stuff for the Bruins tonight. They managed just to stay in the game, although they were badly outplayed in the first period tonight and were down just 2-1. And then in the second period came back, and the Bruins now lead by a score of 4-2. They led early, 2:55. Barry Pedersen with a power play goal in that first period, and then Montreal came back with 2. Flockhart and Nyland scoring. They outshot the Bruins 16-3. But in the second period, all Boston. Crowder at 4:45. Simmer another power play score at 9:13. And Crowder again at 17:46. And the Bruins outshooting Montreal this time 14-2. Montreal still has a slim 1-shot edge, but the Bruins are up by 2 goals, 20 minutes to play at the Forum in Montreal. It's 4-2 Boston. Third period action now. It's back to Fred Cusick and John Pearson.
Goal that got the Bruins back on even terms with the Canadiens and got them off on a very strong foot at the second period was by Keith Crowder at 4:45. And like the first Canadian goal, the rebound was the start of the problem for the Canadiens. Now watch the rebound off the right pad of Penny. And here comes Ken Linseman with a nice little touch drop pass to Keith Crowder. Now watch this good move right here. Svoboda goes down, and why Penny went down at that moment, I'll never know. And Keith Crowder had the presence of mind to go wide. And a high-rising drive up in underneath the crossbar. Beautiful shot and play by Keith Crowder. The assist to Linseman and Ray Bourque at 4:45. Subsequently, the Bruins came on with 2 power play goals, their 26th and 27th of the year. And with a strange turn of events, lead the Canadiens 4-2 at the end of 2 periods of play.
Well, it's Jekyll and Hyde, and take your pick. First period, it was the Canadiens outshooting Boston 16-3. In the second period, Boston outshot the Canadiens 15-2. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Boston Bruins and TV 38 and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, other use of the pictures, descriptions, accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Bruins and TV 38 is prohibited.
Well, we mentioned the first annual Beanpot Masters Hockey Tournament, and the format will be the same as the regular Beanpot. The location will be different, and the age of some of the players will be drastically changed, but it will be held at Harvard's Bright Arena on Friday, January the 18th at 7 p.m. and 8:30, and on Saturday, January the 19th at 5 and 6:30. Should be a great event. There's going to be some great former players who played in the Beanpot. Bill Cleary, Jimmy Bell, Mike Eruzione, Tim Sheehy, Fred Willis, Gene Kanasowicz, to name just a few. And they're coming from all over the place, including Puerto Rico and Alberta, Canada. We'll keep you abreast of the details, but it will be a format just like the Beanpot with former Beanpot participants. And it's all for the benefit of the Jimmy Fund, so put it down on your calendar. We'll keep you abreast January 18th and 19th. And here for the third period is Fred Cusick.
Each team short a man, 1:18 left on the matching penalties, and the Bruins able to clear it in on a play by Tallinn. Back for it, Curvis. Curvis and Chelios, the 2 American players who are defensemen for the Canadiens. And Ludwig a third, and Asplund breaks it out to Mondu, and over the line they go. Mondu stops, broken up by Bourque. And Bork clears, and Casper couldn't quite break away, couldn't get it. And Penny out to drive it into the penalty box, and he hit Hunter, who was there, struck near him. A break there, and Casper might have had a breakaway as Bork stopped the Montreal attack.
I don't know if you can make any sense of the correlation between the first and second periods here at the Montreal Forum. You might relate the first part of the first period to what the Bruins did in the second period, but there's no way you could make any sense out of the end of the first period and all of the second, but just two different hockey games.
And Bork fires in, deflected wide. Chelios takes over. 45 seconds left on the matching penalties. Into center ice comes Naslund, and he's racked by Bork after he passed in. Bork lined him up, and Casper breaks it center ice and hustles and comes up on Curvis and sifts through him and has it and moves it across, and Tallene fires, and Penny makes the stop. Brilliant rush by Steve Casper, and Tallene finished it off with a hard drive, and Penny the save.
Two beautiful plays by Casper, but this is the best of the lot. Curvers, and then he tried to go wide on the other defenseman, but he couldn't find the handle at the proper moment to get it into Jim Nill, who was standing right on Penny's doorstep. But Tallene came in with a big slap shot, and Penny came up with a stop. Beautiful rush by Casper, who showed good acceleration through center ice and then around Curvers.
Capitals lead Quebec 4-0. Jets and Islanders tied at 2. Caps game in the third period. This one in the third period just starting. Crowder and Lindsman out. And Keith Crowder has 2 goals tonight. Won a power play score. In the center ice, Milbury on the puck. And passes it back into the Canadian zone, missed by Robinson. 15 seconds left on the matching penalties. 4-2, the Bruins lead. 2 power play goals after Crowder tied it at 2. Bruins dominated that second period. Over the line, breaking, it is Carbonneau, and just stopped by Milbury. A diving play, and Milbury able to tie up the puck. Carbonneau had him beaten, and he dove and broke it up.
Good second effort by Mike Milbury. Allowed Carbonneau to slip by him down that right side. And then all of a sudden, he gave it that little second effort. Now see the puck go between Milbury's skates, picked up by Carbonneau. Right there, he's got body position, and he's ready to cut in. De-accelerating, and as he did, Milbury dove across and knocked it off his stick.
Canadian line has Ryan Walter with Chris Nyland and Alfie Turcotte, and Nyland has a score. Gave the Canadians a 2-1 lead in the first period. The draw won by the Bruins. Milbury to O'Connell, and they work it out in the center ice. Crowder working over the line on Ludwig. A pass across looking for Simmer, can't get it. Lindsman, Simmer, Crowder the line. Steal by Lindsman. The shot deflected wide as he slapped it. And O'Connell keeps it in. Simmer centers it. Crowder has it in the corner. Crowder trying to make his play now with Simmer. Simmer trying to get it back to O'Connell. The pass missed. And it floats to Peeters. Peeters holding with Nyland coming on him. Waits till he gets closer and then ties it up for a face-off. 2 minutes into the third period. The Bruins lead 4-2.
And the goal scorers, Keith Crowder has 2, Pedersen and Simmer 1 each. Boston has scored a shorthanded goal. That was Pedersen's. 2 power play goals, one by Crowder and one by Simmer. And for the Canadians, Nyland and Flockhart. Flockhart's was a power play goal.
Flockhart is out at center between McPhee and Hunter. Chelios and Curvers are the defense pairings. And Tom Fergus is centering Terry O'Reilly and Dave Donnelly. Scapinello takes a lot of time lining them up. And finally the puck to Blum, clears it to the corner. And Tallene trying to start it out, and he's broken up, and it's kept in by Flockhart, lost to O'Reilly. O'Reilly gets it to center ice. And breaking is Fergus. Fergus over the line with Donnelly. Leads Donnelly to the corner. Donnelly behind the net, hit by Chelios, who dove after him. O'Reilly in, battling for it. In the corner, worked free. Now McPhee and Fergus. Chelios clears it around the... Not out. Tallene able to keep it back in to O'Reilly. Checked there by Flockhart, battling for it. And dug out by Fergus. Fergus centers it. Donnelly can't get the handle to it. And McPhee breaks it out. Cuts on the right wing side, coming on Tallene. Tallene wrapped him up. And Blum fires it around the boards, not out. Curve is a shot, deflected over the net. Into the corner, It is Tallene flipping it out to the Canadian line. And almost 3 minutes played, third period. Boston leads 4-2. Chelios starts it back. Into center ice. Mondu whips it in the Boston zone. Bourque on it. Bourque to Slager. Slager checked by Mondu. Mondu centers it. A backhander by Tremblay. Blocked. Side of the net. Mondu has it. He almost tipped that home. Now Tremblay drops it back. Robinson fires. Misses the net. Into the corner. The Canadiens press and keep it in. Around the boards, Naslund, very tricky. His shot deflected wide. Robinson moves in. Drops it for Tremblay. A shot blocked. Bruins can't clear it. Milbury trying to sweep it out. It's kept in by Mondu. Looking for Naslund in front of the net. Now goes behind the net to Naslund. Naslund's pass blocked by Milbury. Big play to Nil. And the Bruins break it out. Slager with Nil. And the trailer, Kasper. Trying to set up Kasper. It's knocked away by Penny and covered now by Svoboda. He's checked in deep by Nil, taken off the play. Tremblay able to clear it out to Mondu. He breaks, coming on Bourque. Pedersen also back there. Naslund the trailer. Mondu clears it in deep. Peeters out to block it for Bourque. 4-2 Boston. Bourque for Milbury to Middleton. To Pedersen. Handle it beautifully. Breaks over the line on Svoboda. The shot is wide, and oh, he really steamed that one in old Barry Pedersen style. But wide of the net. In deep, a steal by Nyland to Gainey, and the shot misses the net. Long rebound is Green. Green able to keep it in. Centering pass. Gainey. Gainey wheeling. Back for Green. Green into the corner. Tallene on it. He's checked by Deblois. Fought for in the corner. Garboneau there. And O'Connell and Deblois. Fergus gets it free. Can't clear it. Back to Green from Gainey. The screen shot blocked. The rebound. Deblois knocked it wide. The Canadiens press. A penalty, but Brian Lewis wasn't looking at it. A tripping call. Here's Deblois over the line. The shot. And the save by Pete Peeters. And with the score, Boston 4, Montreal 2. Bruins hockey will continue in a moment. And this is Deblois with the shot on Pete Peeters, and Peeters with a very big save. Ryan Walter is taking the face-off with Steve Kasper. And we're going to welcome René Lecavalier, who does the French broadcast for the Montreal Canadiens, watching the game. I want to get a comment on that Jekyll and Hyde first and second period, René.
There you are. Complete reversal. That's all I can say about it. That's hockey for you, isn't it, Fred?
You never know. Kasper down, but the puck kept in by Turcotte. Turcotte wheeling in the zone, and the play broken up, and the Bruins, Keith Crowder moves it to center ice. And Crowder clears it up. Curvis stopping it for the Canadiens, who have perked up their attack, but Bourque intercepts, dumps it up for Simmer, breaks in with Crowder. Simmer looking, holding. Now lost it, gets it back to Blum to keep the play going. The shot, save, Penny, and Crowder almost had a hat trick trying to poke in that rebound. It's back to Bourque, a shot wide of Penny. Around the boards, John Blum able to keep it in. 4-2 Boston. Crowder just missing on the hat trick bid. Chelios broken up by Bourque. Bourque across for Simmer, trying to move it right in front and get a handle to it, and he can't. And it's skated off by Chelios. The clear to center ice, but Bourque is there. Now Blum breaks it up. Linsman over the line, trying to move in. Lost it to Chelios. Chelios cuts away from the forechecking of Linsman. Keeps control away from Slager. Avoids Slager with a nice move, and boy, that rookie has talent. And out comes Mondu into center ice. Tipped in by Tremblay. 14:10 left in the third period. Boston leads 4-2. O'Connell around for Slager. The Bruins work it out to center ice. Batted across Robinson. Winding up for the Canadiens. Now to Mondu, and a break here for Tremblay. Tremblay, a shot blocked. It was Naslund moving in. Tremblay whips it in deeper. Bourque takes over. And the puck cleared out. Rolls down wide, and back for it Robinson, and icing called on the play. With the score, Boston 4, Montreal 2. Let's pause for this message. René Lecavalier, let's do some play-by-play in French. You handle it here.
I'm trying to remember the last time you asked me to do this. It must have been more than 10 years ago.
A good 20 years ago.
Well, anyway.
Go ahead.
Alors, en français, et je salue tous mes amis de la Nouvelle-Angleterre qui seraient à l'écoute présentement. Flockhart à la mise au jeu devant Tom Fergus. Les Bruins mènent 4-2. On est en troisième période avec encore 13 minutes et demie à jouer. Le tir vient de très loin. O'Reilly à la poursuite n'y arrive pas. Là, c'est devant le filet des Canadiens. C'est repris par Flockhart, le marqueur du premier but de la rencontre. Une belle charge. Et ensuite, c'est la passe à l'ailier droit. Mark Hunter, il tire et Peeters bloque. Le retour est pris par Milbury qui fait une chute comme mise en échec. Et pour les Bruins, il s'agit d'un dégagement. Back to you, Fred, and thank you for your invitation. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. How a game sounds. Maybe 100% better. Puck cleared in, and it is 4-2. Boston leads. And 12:57 left in the third period. René Lecavalier does the French telecast. Puck kept in now by Fergus. Fergus trying to set the play. It's cleared away to center ice, breaking out Chris Nyland. Nyland looking for Walter. Broken up by Mats Thelin for O'Connell. Bruins checking solidly. And O'Reilly back over the line, loses to Chelios. Chelios checked immediately by Fergus. O'Reilly right back over the line again, looking for some help. Clears it deep into the corner. The Bruins have the 4-2 lead. Walter trying to come out. Boston checking vigorously, and Thelin able to break it up at center ice. Bounces again for Chelios. Very much an offensive player and a good one, but a good defensive defenseman too. In deep, Thelin clears it away to the man uncovered, Middleton. The Bruins have been doing that. Middleton, a long clear out. Chelios knocks it down. Fans yelling at play behind the puck, and Carbonneau's pass broken up by Boston. Has it as 9. A lead for Middleton. Middleton over the line. He's onside. Tough angle and a save by Penny. Middleton played it smartly off the boards, but had a reasonably tough angle. This could be icing. Racing for it, Flum. And icing called as he beat Bob Gainey to the puck. TV 38's brightest stars celebrate the holidays as only they can with their holiday specials. Join MASH one day at a time, the Jeffersons and Barney Miller, as well as other favorites, as they celebrate the holiday season this Thursday night, all starting at 6 p.m. here on WSPK TV 38.
Goals by Laughlin and Carpenter for the Washington Capitals at the Colisée in Quebec City have forged them out in front of the Nordiques by a 4-0 score in the second period.
Fergus has joined Peterson and Middleton, and is back to Thelin. A shot, scores! Thelin from the left point caught the far corner on a deflection, and the Bruins lead 5-2.
Mats Thelin with a long drive and his second goal of the year. Watch this beautiful play off the face-off, and here's the drive. Penny picked it up late, went down a little prematurely, and it stuck into the far post, inside the post. Thelin from Fergus and Pedersen, and a very big goal for the Boston Bruins. 5-2, third period.
You talked about Fergus at left wing. He has picked up 3 assists now. He's also played at center, but basically now left wing with Peterson and Middleton. Icing called against the Bruins. 10:23 left in the third period as Mats Thelin gives Boston the lead at 5-2. We're looking at Craig Ludwig from Eagle River, Wisconsin, and the University of North Dakota.
Well, the goal, Thelin from Fergus and Peterson, and for Thelin his second of the season at 9 minutes and 25 seconds, I'm guessing, something like that. We'll have to get the accurate time for you on that goal.
Mondu is out, centering Naslund and Tremblay. The faceoff is to the right of Peeters. Bruins trying to work it out, and they do. Middleton has it. Breaks with Tom Fergus. Puck driven in, and Chelios there first. Checked by Fergus, and Tremblay moves it to center ice. A lead for Naslund, too far. Peeters able to knock it away from him. The trailer, though, Tremblay able to keep it in. He's checked by Casper. Around the boards, Chelios has moved way in. A shot, save! Peeters holding the corner and dropping. And Milbury takes it to the corner, losing to Tremblay. Mondu trying to wrap it in front. O'Connell checks Naslund. Mondu has it. Mondu battling, tries to center it. Tremblay had a poke at it from in close, but went wide. Middleton and Tremblay battle. Milbury trying to move it out. Middleton knocked down. Tremblay keeps it in. Naslund pokes it away. Milbury finally gets it to Mike O'Connell, and it's out of the zone. Up now to Middleton and cleared down wide. Casper forechecking. Chelios just drives it out, connects with Walter. Walter broken up, and Ray Bourque has it for Boston. Away from Chris Nyland, who scored one of the 2 goals for the Canadiens. Into center ice for Jim Nill. He can't hang on. But Casper steals. Breaks over the line on Robinson. Goes with Nill. Drops it for Nill. Nill moving in. Gets body position and then is knocked off the puck on a hit by Turcotte. At center ice, Tallene, who just scored, fires back in for the Bruins, who lead 5-2. 9 minutes left in the third period. Save for about the last half. Here's a steal by Lindsman. Lindsman moving in. Drops it in front, and it's knocked away. With it, Turcotte. Turcotte, a long lead for Walter, and it's too far as Lindsman gets in front of Walter, and Tallene able to clear it away. Slager can't handle it. Nyland coming back over the line. Moving in, Bourque chases him to the backboards. He centers it, knocked away by Tallene in good position. Swept out of the zone by Slager, and this will be icing on Boston. And you're watching Boston Bruins hockey from the Forum in Montreal.
His coach behind the Canadiens bench, Jacques Lemaire, and the assistant coach is Jacques Laperriere. He's also there, the tall, angular defenseman who played so very well for the Canadiens.
Lindsman taking his time moving in against Flockhart. Face off to the right of Peeters. Boston leads at 5-2. Both Canadian scores. They led 2-1 at the end of the first. Back to Ludwig. A shot blocked by O'Reilly. Bounces for a shot and a score by Hunter. A bouncing puck for the Canadiens, and Hunter drives it home to make it 5-3.
Mark Hunter picked the puck up out of the air off a drive by Ludwig that struck O'Reilly, and he took a wild swing and picked it out and rammed it in behind Pete Peeters, and the Canadiens close it to 5-3. The goal by Hunter from Ludwig, which started at the left point, and this goal scored at 11 minutes and 41 seconds, third period.
Mark Hunter closes the gap with 8:17 left. Puck is cleared in by Donnelly. McPhee and Ludwig get assists on that score. Ludwig and McPhee trying to work it out. And they get it to center ice, and breaking is Hunter over the line. Checked by Bourque all the way, and Bourque knocks him down and takes it away and gets it away to Tallene. Tallene to O'Reilly, off to Donnelly, breaks up the left wing side, back for O'Reilly. In front of the net, taken by Pedersen. The shot and a save by Penny. Oh, it didn't bounce for Boston the way it did for Montreal, as Pedersen had that on the follow-up. Now Tallene off for Terry O'Reilly. 7:35 left in the third period. Boston leads 5-3. Tallene is hit hard and down and hurt. He was hit by Tremblay. Mats Tallene took a wicked hit, and O'Reilly is ready for Tremblay. Doesn't want to take the unnecessary penalty. Tallene slowly up and skating now to the bench. And Tremblay, of course, would like to get O'Reilly going and get the extra penalty maybe, and O'Reilly held off wisely.
Very wisely, because actually the penalty or the play was a good check by Tremblay. Good solid body contact. You've got to expect that with this guy. Now watch it. Right here, he rams into Tallene and the body contact. And O'Reilly thought that possibly he should get involved, thought better of it. As we have 7:26 left. Third period, Boston 5, Canadiens 3.
2 goals by Keith Crowder in the game. Barry Pedersen has a shorthanded goal. Charlie Simmer a power play goal, and Mats Tallene in the third period. From Fergus and Pedersen at 9:25. Hunter from Ludwig and McPhee at 11:41. 7:20 left, third period. And the Bruins know nothing is certain, even with leads like that. As Curvers gets it to Chelios, and it's cleared to the Boston end. Back for it, O'Connell. Around the boards, Tremblay is over there, able to keep it in deep to Mondu. Mondu check, and Lindsman able to tap it away. And they're going to call it icing. 6:54 left. A face-off in the Boston zone. The Bruins lead by 2.
And the shots on goal here in the third period, 5 for each team for a 3-period total up to this point of 23.
Bruins still angling for revenge on Tremblay, but that would be foolhardy if they get an extra penalty.
John Tonelli has just scored his 3rd goal of the night for the New York Islanders, and they lead the Winnipeg Jets at the Nassau Coliseum by a score of 3-2. Anton Stastny has scored his 18th of the year for the Nordiques, and in the 3rd period, it's Washington 4, Quebec 1.
Ryan Walter against Steve Kasper, the face-off to the left of Pete Peeters. The shots are 23 apiece. But how they arrived at that 23 total is a real story in this game. Walter and Kasper. And the Canadiens have it. Kept in by Turcotte. Knocked around the boards by Blum. Slager battling, but it's kept in by Turcotte. A drive wide. Walter has it in the corner. Walter checked along the boards by Blum. Gets it into Nyland. The pass back in front. Walter scores! Walter makes it 5-4 with 6:35 left.
Hard work by the Canadiens. Nyland has the puck in along the boards. That's Walter. Now here's Nyland centering it back to Walter. And his short shot, Peeters never saw it. Slipped in behind his right pad. As the Canadiens freewheeling. When that man has the puck and he lays it off, somebody's got to bump into him to stop the flow of the play. And the Canadiens with 2 quick goals. After trailing 5-2, it's now 5-4. This goal comes at 13 minutes and 25 seconds of the 3rd period. Walter from Nyland.
And now Svoboda. Pass up, stopped by Milbury. Cleared away on the wing, but Mike McPhee takes over. 6:27 left. McPhee starts it back. Clearing in. Into the corner. Hunter there. Hunter to McPhee. McPhee checked by Kasper. He lost it. It's kept in by Flockhart. Flockhart gets it up to McPhee. McPhee rolls it in. Peeters blocks it off for Jim Nill. Nill trying to clear it out, and Robinson kept it in. And Hunter has it. Hunter right back, and the shot wide by Flockhart. Peeters got a piece of it as the Canadiens take over again, but now relieving the pressure, Kasper to center ice. Final long drive in on Penny. 5:48 left, 3rd period. Boston leads 5-4. The Canadiens starting that surge they had in the last half of the 1st period. Flockhart drives it in, and Bourque takes over. Bourque fires it out off the boards. Rick Green there for the Canadiens. Now Gainey, checked by Bourque. Gainey wraps it in. First on it, Mike Milbury. And the play called offside. 3rd period action will continue from the Forum in just a moment. The last 2 Canadian goals to get them back in the game. Hunter is 10th from Ludwig and McPhee at 11:41. Walter from Turcotte and Nyland at 13:25. Walter's 9th. And the fans going wild here with waves and everything else. The clear in to Peeters from Ludwig, and Bourque turns the net and breaks it out. Off for Kasper. Kasper looking for Middleton. Middleton ridden off by Ludwig, and Gainey takes over. And we have 5 minutes left in regulation. Deblois broken up by Pedersen, but he can't make the pass, and Carbonneau right back. Carbonneau clearing in, hauled down by Tallene. Fans yell they want a holding call. Middleton trying to move it out, can't. Deblois, long shot, blocked by Tallene. Tallene blocked by Deblois. Back it comes, and bounces away from Gainey. A break for Boston there. Taking over is Tallene. Clears it around, but not out. Deblois lost it now to Pedersen. Pedersen able to clear it out of the zone. And a Canadian batted it high in the air on a face-off call. Like to remind you, the Bruins and the Whalers square off tomorrow night at the Hartford Civic Center. Face-off 7:30 p.m. Catch all the action right here on WSPK TV 38. 5-4, Boston leads in a wild game.
It has been a game which has seen heights and low points for both teams in terms of periods. Small sections out of each period. The first period was partly Boston and then dominated at the end by the Canadiens. who outshot Boston 16-3.
Chelios over the line, clears it in. Check, shoots, misses the net as he rushed straight up. And it's kept in now by Mondu. Avoids a check by Linsman. Goes behind the net, trying to turn it on net. Naslund does, turns it around, just broken up by O'Connell, but he gets it again. Naslund in deep, centers it, hoping for a bounce, can't get it. O'Connell trying to come out. Oh, is he ever hooked by Naslund? They let it go. Crowder breaks, good chance, 3-on-2 to Milbury. Milbury blocked, Milbury tapped it in. It's blocked, and Tremblay starts back. 4 minutes left, regulation, 5-4. Curvis over to Tremblay. Tremblay shot and a kick-out save by Peeters. That was on the mark. Rolls around for Simmer. Simmer trying to move it out. Lofts it in the air. Crowder breaks. Linsman skating on Curvis. Linsman goes deep. Cuts in. One-hander and a save by Penny. A big rush by Linsman, just like the one that beat Vancouver. But it did not pay off. And the Bruins need that insurance goal. Nyland back over the line. In deep. Checked. Keeps it, goes behind the net, still has it all the way. Falls down, but Walter gets it. Walter checked by Tallene. Walter intercepted by O'Reilly. O'Reilly can't get the handle to it. Bork battling. Bruins trying to clear it out. Can't. Turcotte. Svoboda keeps it in. Svoboda across for Nyland, and he fanned in close. Bork drives it away from in front of the net. Fergus can't move it out. Turcotte keeps it in. A shift, a shot. It's deflected wide, and O'Reilly able to clear it out. But what pressure by Montreal. They trail 5-4. Bork breaks it up, gives it to Fergus. Attack for Boston. Fergus with O'Reilly. Back for O'Reilly. The shot, the save by Penny. And back come the Canadiens. O'Connell breaks it up. Gets it smartly to Milbury on a key play. Milbury clears it up. Now it bounced back off Hunter. Fired out to O'Reilly. 2:30 left, regulation. 5-4 Boston. O'Connell bats down a high pass. Holds it. Gets it away to Nil. Nil into the Canadian corner against Robinson. Holding away from Robinson, trying to make the play. Has Slager with him. Kicks it to Slager. Slager has it behind the net. Slager in front. Kasper, shot, score! Kasper from Slager with 2:08 left. And Jim Nil assisting on the play. Hustling, digging by Boston. And Kasper makes it 6-4.
The kind of play that we've seen the Canadiens pull off here in the third period. Hard work. Setting up a man in front for a scoring drive. And Louis Slager duplicates the feat for the Bruins. Out to Kasper, and he swings it in underneath Steve Penny, who went down to try to block it. And the Bruins leading 6-4. 17:52 the time. Louis Slager and Jim Nil assisting on the goal by Kasper. But credit just hard work by Jim Nil and Louis Slager to set up Kasper in front. And that did it. And the Bruins have a 2-goal lead.
A Montreal native. Kasper had a hat trick earlier this year. Had a very big goal. And over the line comes Nil again, but he's ruled offside on this one. And we're in the third period. The score of Boston 6 and Montreal 4. Kasper is 7th of the year from Nil and Slager at 17:52. And Boston leads 6-4, 1:56 left. O'Connell drives it around the boards and out by Ludwig. At center ice, Kasper to O'Connell. O'Connell breaks up over the Canadian line. No, he holds it out, now clears it in. Bruins want to protect that 2-goal lead. They thought they were all set at 3-goal lead, and the Canadians came right back. And we're storming. Deblois hit by Bork. Bruins clear it out. Ludwig now carrying. Drops it in, and back for it, Mike Milbury. Milbury to Pedersen. Pedersen handled it well, can't clear it out. Kept in by Deblois. Deblois plays it in deep, and back is Bork. Around the boards, connects with Fergus. Fergus up for Pedersen, back to Fergus. Fergus over the line, trying to bear in. A minute left, minute 5. In deep. Middleton checks, breaks it up, steals. Holds it off in the corner. Drops it off for Fergus. Fergus back for Bork. Bork fires, and Penny kicked it out. 50 seconds left. 6-4 Boston. In a wild night at the Forum. As wild as we've seen. Peeters blocks and clears it out. Penny stays in the net, and back for it goes Chris Chelios. The long clear up. And then back, it's looking for Naslund. He can't connect. And Peeters fires right out of the zone. Slager battling for it. What a play Slager made. A big one to set up Casper for the insurance goal. And that took the steam out of Montreal. 20 seconds left. Mondeau keeps it in the Boston end. Casper checking him in the corner. Now it goes free. Naslund there. Naslund checked by O'Connell. 2 men on him. Casper there too. Casper dug it out. Tremblay gets it to Mondeau. To Naslund. Now a steal by Casper, and appropriately enough, Steve Casper has it as the siren sounds. And a very, very important game for Boston as the Bruins win it. In the third period, 10 shots apiece. The total shots 28 apiece. And the final score is Boston 6 and Montreal 4. Bruins hockey will continue in a moment.
Final in Montreal tonight. The Bruins 6, Montreal 4, and Bruins Recap is brought to you by your local McDonald's, where it's a good time to give the great taste of family and friends with McDonald's gift certificates, $1 each, or in books of 5 for $5. Share the holiday spirit with McDonald's gift certificates. Fred?
John, I don't know how to explain it, but I'll take the result. 6-4 Boston.
Well, I would say about the same thing, Fred. I tell you, it was the strangest game that I've seen in a long, long time, especially here at the Montreal Forum. The peaks and valleys of this kind of a hockey game from both sides of the fence were incredible. But the end result is what counts, and the Bruins have been talking all along about playing well and not winning. They played fairly well here tonight, and they won it, so that's the big thing. The score, they've now got a 2-game winning streak going, and I really believe this game here at the Montreal Forum could do them a lot of good in the next 4 or 5 games.
And some hustling work by the Nil, Casper, Slager line.
Well, when the tough situations come up, you get the guys who are good in the trenches, and Casper, Nil, and Slager are awful good in that area. And that's Nil along the boards, and here comes Slager in along the corner. He'll get the puck from Nil, kick it with his skate. He moves behind the defenseman for the Canadiens, and watch his beautiful centering pass out to Casper. Perfect timing, has it on net. Penny went down a little early tonight a lot of the time. I don't know whether that's a bad habit he's getting into or not, but he did on that play, and Casper slipped it underneath him, and that was a big goal because the Canadiens were coming back. They had trailed 5-2. They scored 2 goals and almost got the tire, which would have been disastrous, but the Bruins won it with some excellent forechecking in the latter stages.
And the shots were even 28 apiece, and Pete Peeters had to look at 16 in that first period, and he was marvelous there. The Bruins only trailed 2-1, and that really kept them in the game. I'd salute him.
Well, I really would, Fred, and that's another plus for this game. This is one of the first games that Peeters really has been able to say, hey, look, I think I really helped the team in the first period when Canadiens came storming about the midway point on, and they could have won the hockey game right there.
Final score, Boston 6, Montreal 4. Here's Tom.
Thank you, Fred. The Bruins scored 2 goals in the third period tonight, and Leonard Goland of Athol, Mass, and Jay Lutz of Chelsea are tonight's Boston Globe TV 38 Score with the Bruins winners. 3 other games in the National Hockey League tonight. One of those is final, the other 2 still going on. Washington has beaten the Quebec Nordiques. The final in that one was 4-1. The Caps got out in front 4-0 on goals by Duchesne, Gartner in the first period, Laughlin and Carpenter in the second period. Antone Stastny scored the only goal of the night for the Quebec Nordiques. And the New York Islanders are leading the Winnipeg Jets by a score of 4-2. That's in the second period. Los Angeles 1-0 over Calgary, and Marcel Dion has the lone goal so far in that game. The Bruins, of course, with a big win in Montreal tonight, final score 6-4, and they can feel pretty good about themselves for the first time in a long time. This should get things back where they ought to be. And the Bruins will be right back at it tomorrow night. They play Hartford out there, another Adams Division match. And given the division standings at the moment, those Whalers are a concern. Tonight's final score at the Forum in Montreal, Boston Bruins 6, the Montreal Canadiens 4.
A tough one. I can see what Jim Hannafin's saying. You got to blitz. You're tackling a guy. You're right in the middle, and it is difficult to stop right in the middle of a tackle. Watch E.J. Jr. He's right here. He's going to come on the blitz. He gets Theismann, and then he just doesn't stop. Watch it. He's right there behind the and he's gonna hit the ball right there in the gap. You see, right in the right gap. Riggins can't get to him. Now he has him here. You see the official wave his arms? Now what he's saying is, when I blew the whistle and waved my arms, you didn't stop.
Well, you can't stop in the middle of the tackle to watch the officials wave his arms.
No, that is tough. I don't know about that one.
It's a first down, whatever. We're not going to change it, and they aren't either. Theismann goes to work to Monk, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 47.
You know, you can take a lot of things out of football, and you can have a lot of rules and so on for safety, and I'm sure that they're all right, but doggone it, you can't take aggressiveness out of there. When a middle linebacker comes free on a blitz on a quarterback, he's going to tackle him.
If you take aggressiveness out of the game, the stadium's going to be full of no-shows.
Look at Art Blanc. He's a wide receiver who just set an all-time receiving record, and he looks like he's been playing in the pits. Look at those arms. That back.
Boy, what a year he's had. Theismann goes back, and he's going to look in that direction. And he's got him. And he's gotten the first down. Monk picks it up, and the clock continues to run with 11:40 left to play. E.J. Jr. on the tackle.
Redskins scheme of football, this in the last part of the, well, there's 11 minutes to go, but in the fourth quarter, that's when you get a big dose of John Riggins.
Neil Lomax over on the sideline. His offensive unit, throwing it almost every down here in the second half, has put some points on the board every time they had the ball. Now they need it again. 26 out of 34 for Lomax.
When you rub your hands through your hair, that means you want the ball back.
Monk splits wide to the left. Theismann has Riggins behind him on first down. Yellow 30 means nothing. That means he'll go to play that was called, and it goes to Riggins. Hammered by E.J. Jr. Ramsey Dardar also helped out. Yellow 30 is just a way to get things started.
Right, that's a starting thing, and it means nothing when they say, yeah, now if he says something other than yellow, then that means it's going to be an audible, which they do very few of. That was a counter play. It was interesting to the left with Ken Huff and Mark May pulling. It's usually to the right with Grimm and Jacoby pulling. That was a little offset thing. They don't do that an awful lot.
Let's listen to Theismann now. Jumped, and now they're saying that they were pulled offside.
Well, what they were doing is they had a blitz, and they're trying to time the blitz with a snap of the football.
Encroachment, defense.
It's against the Cardinals.
I think it was E.J. Jr. again here. He's going to come on a blitz, and he gets up here and gets offsides. He gets up in the other gap before the ball snap. Now watch him. He starts coming here. Now he comes over, and you see right there, he jumps off sides. He's in that neutral zone before the ball snap.
Cardinals have been penalized 10 times for 87 yards. The Redskins only once.
Yeah, but
for
they've
5
had
yards.
they've had three big ones on this drive alone.
This drive, you're right. 3 tough ones.
One on Wayne Smith and 2 on E.J. Jr.
Riggins right side. Riggins rambles for the Redskins first down. Wayne Smith, Lee Nelson on the tackle. Riggins has 22 carries. Has gained 66 yards. And believe me, John, they've been tough yards.
Well, they've been tough yards, but this is the time in the game that the Redskins need Riggins. When they get down close to the goal line, when they have a lead in the fourth quarter, just to hold the football. And there's no one better at doing that than this guy.
Redskins have the ball at the Cardinal 26. 9.5 minutes left to play. Theismann sounds like he's just about out of voice. Give this to Riggins again. Cut down right at the line of scrimmage.
Fans over on that side are calling for another penalty. They want the Cardinals to have their 4th penalty on this drive. official said, no, we've already got him for 3. I'll tell you, when Riggins does go, you know, he gets a lot of hits, and he does take some late hits because you never know when he's down. Now watch him here, and watch this hit there. I'll tell you, that was a little late. I think the reason they didn't call it is probably that was Ramsey Darder, and he missed him.
Just dived right over him. Cardinal defense getting a good rest. 2nd and 9.5. They go after Theismann. Intended for Calvin Muhammad, and Muhammad turned around when Theismann thought he was going to keep going.
Well, you know, Theismann didn't have a lot of time on that one to think about too many things because they did have the blitz on, and again, E.J. Jr. was right on Theismann, and he had to get rid of that ball.
They would be within range for Mark Mosley even if they got nothing. On this down, it would be tough. But he can get it there. Joe Washington has replaced John Riggins. It would be from 43 yards out for Mosley. They go with an unusual offensive set. One we haven't seen before. Theismann retreats, pulls it down, and is taken down and out of field goal range by Curtis Greer.
I'll tell you, that is a big, big play because, as you said, had they done nothing before that, they could have kicked the field goal. But watch Greer. He starts up on the outside of Joe Jacoby, gets his left arm in underneath, gets beyond him. Theismann was flushed out just before that, and Curtis Greer caught him from behind. Talk about big defensive plays and big sacks in your career. That was sure one for Curtis Greer.
The 5th of the day by the Cardinal defense. They have really hung tough. Jeff Hayes into punt. He's standing right at midfield. Danny Pittman standing at the 10 for the Cardinals. 26-20. The Redskins lead it. High kick that Pittman will have to handle. He does at the 6-yard line. Hayes got it done, and one more time the Cardinals have a long way to go. That was only a 28-yard punt, but they made Pittman handle it. 26-20 Redskins. This was back in the first quarter after the Redskins' first touchdown, Mark Mosley's attempt at an extra point. It goes just left of the left upright. At that point, they led 6-0. But the Cardinals, who now have the ball, have a long way to go.
That's the bad news for the Cardinals. The good news for the Cardinals is that they've scored every time they've had the ball this half. Had the ball 3 times, and they've scored 3 times.
This crowd is now raucous. That's Green moving. Lomax to Danny Pittman, and Pittman still on his feet, and that gets him some breathing room outside the 25 to the 27. A pickup of 21. Rich Millot took him down.
Well, they had Pittman out here on the strong safety on Ken Coffey. He just runs up, runs a slant. Coffey looks like he's waiting for something. He breaks very late on the ball, and that's able to get, and that enabled the Cardinals to get a lot better field position.
Lomax is now 27 out of 35. A gain of 21 on that one. First down Cardinals. Their own 27. Back to throw he is. With time, look out. He gets to Green. Roy Green inside Redskin territory to the 45. Darrell Green, the cover man.
I'll tell you, Roy Green came over and caught that ball. Pat Tilley was on the same side, down here on the right side. He was wide open deep, and that's why right now when Green gets right by here, that's why he has so much space out here, because Tilley is up the field, and he was...
Man hit Lomax just as he let it go.
Hey, we talk about Joe Theismann being tough. This Neil Lomax is pretty good himself.
He's also young.
He's also going to be great.
Lomax. Pittman stays in bounds, and it's another Cardinal first down. I beg your pardon, it might be a little bit short.
This was a roll on Lomax. He rolled to this side. And again, we're going to see Danny Pittman just come up. He turns to the inside on a hook, pivots to the outside. Now, I'm sure that Coffey was playing a zone there, and he was trying to get deep, and the linebacker, Mel Kaufman, was trying to get outside to help.
That stops the clock with just over 6.5 minutes left to play. And you can see what the Cardinals have done in the second half. Started at their own 8. Got a field goal out of it. Started their own 10. They got a touchdown, a 75-yarder from Lomax to Green. Started their own 29. They got another field goal. And it's 26-20 Redskins right now, second and short. Anderson to the outside and has got the first down and more. Anderson hammers a Redskin defender, Mel Kaufman, with his shoulder.
Ooh. Otis Anderson got a pretty good block out there by a wide receiver. Someone was knocked down just before he got there, and he was able to pick up enough for the first down, about 5 or 6 more yards. Now that doesn't look like much, but he's had a pretty big day, Otis Anderson.
He really has.
He caught all those passes.
And turned very short throws into substantial yardage. He's caught 10 passes for 110 yards, and he just got that clutch first down. The Cardinals were down at one time 23-7. Now it's 26-20. Lomax back to throw. Goes quickly to Pittman. My guess is, John, they finally figured out the coverage. They're putting that safety man on Pittman.
Well, right. What they're doing is now, on this drive, the Cardinals have been using 3 wide receivers. And that's why they get the strong safety on Pittman, because they have Tilley and Green on one side, and then they had Danny Pittman, who they just took out, playing the receiver on the other side. And you only have 2 corners, so that means that a safety had to cover one. So the safety covered Pittman, and that's the guy they've been throwing to.
Cardinals now have over 400 yards throwing. Here comes the Redskin blitz. Lomax has a man. Roy Green has the touchdown, and the Cardinals have a chance to take the lead. Good throw by Lomax, and Roy Green is some athlete.
Look at Jim Hannaford. He's saying, we hung in there, guys. These guys here don't like it. But I'll tell you one thing, that was Darryl Green was on Roy Green. I think Darryl Green slipped. But I think Roy Green made Darryl Green slip.
He's made a lot of people slip this year. There is still a lot of time left, however. 6 minutes, 15 seconds. O'Donoghue to try to break the tie. Perrin is holding. The Cardinals, for the first time today, have taken the lead. Boy, they have really hung in there.
They've had a lot of adversity, but watch this move here. He's going to come in left here to the post. You see, he's going to fake in here like he's coming in here. Now watch what that does to Darryl Green. He did slip right there, and then Roy Green broke it out to the outside in the corner for the touchdown. Darryl Green doesn't even make the picture. Now that was some move. Did you see
I think he had him even if he didn't slip.
I know it, because after that post move, he couldn't recover to the corner.
Cardinals ahead by 1. 6:15 left to play. Here is the touchdown and the move again.
I tell you, this is a great move. He has to sell him that he's going inside. Right there, he's going into the post. He sold him. Watch Darryl Green. Now he goes back. Now when he comes back, he just can't get around there to that corner.
And Jim Hannafin off with the headset.
Because he knew what the play was. He sent it in through Rod Dowhauer, who's up in the press box.
O'Donoghue will kick it off. 6:15 left to play. Helms back deep for the Redskins. Again, it's not very deep and very to the 8. And they wrap him up. No, he gets out of it. Does Helms. Finally tripped up by John Good. Lomax has had some second half. 19 out of 21. 267 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of them to Roy Green. Tell you what, we got a couple of guys in this game who wear number 81 who are just about unstoppable. Art Monk and Roy Green.
You know, and I had one years ago that wore number 81, Warren Wells, who was one of the best players that I've ever coached. And that's the reason that Roy Green is wearing number 81. Emmett Thomas, his coach, remembered Warren Wells and thought he looked like, reminded him, and he wanted him at 81.
Monk was the man in motion. They get the ball out to Art Monk, and he can't hang on. He was Jarred by Wayne Smith. Good play. The time remaining just 1 second over 6 minutes. St. Louis driving for the NFC Eastern Championship. (27-26) the score. The Cardinals over the Redskins. The winner gets the week off. The loser has to play next week. Theismann back to throw and looking quickly in the middle to Monk. He gets it to Monk. Outside the 30, about the 32. Not enough for a first down.
That's unless the Cardinals are the losers. If the Cardinals lose, then they get the whole season off. The whole rest of the season off. They're out, right?
It'll be till training camp for them. No matter if the Cardinals do win, the Redskins are still a wild card team. 3rd and 4. Joe Washington has replaced Theismann. And this is Didier coming way wide left. Covered now by the linebacker, it would appear. Here come the Redskin blitzers. Theismann gets out of it. He's got the first down. Elois Grooms finally got him down.
Joe Theismann made a heck of a thing. Watch E.J. Jr. again on the blitz. He's going to get through there. He's going to break everything up. Coming from the right side. Theismann sees him right now. Then he can't throw it. Just got a piece of it. Now he feels him coming from behind. Joe said, I better get out of here. Now he gets that far and says, I better get a first down. And he did.
Joe Washington just got a piece of him, just got enough. Riggins, as we come back over the left side again, got about 3. E.J. Jr. and Ramsey Gardar on the tackle. That's where they're trying to get. Either into where the red letters are, the end zone, or in range for Mosley. 2nd and 7. Here is Mosley over on the sideline. Got to tie his shoe before the time comes.
Yeah, how can a kicker do that? He doesn't do anything else. All he does is kick. You know, I mean, he doesn't kick off. He doesn't punt. Just feel, how can you have to tie your shoe when you get to this part of the game? What else you been doing all day?
He just likes to tie it a lot. Alvin Muhammad by Jeff Griffin inside the 40, about the 38 or 39. Clock continues to run with 3:35 left to play.
Well, Joe Gibbs was telling us yesterday, he said, you know, if I have to pick a guy that I think has a good chance of winning this game for us, it's Calvin Muhammad. He said he's at that point now. He said they're going to be worrying about Monk. They're going to be worrying about Riggins. And he said this guy could very well be the guy that wins the game for the Redskins.
Muhammad's caught 5 for 110 yards. Clock running still at 3:10. Riggins back in the game. Theismann back to throw and goes quickly. Heading for Clint Didier, who's being covered by linebacker Thomas Howard, man-to-man.
I'm sure that they saw that on the booth. You know, a couple plays ago that happened. They put Clint Didier outside, and they had Howard on him, Thomas Howard, who's usually the strong side linebacker. They put Didier out as a wide receiver, and then the Cardinals have to put their linebacker out on him man-to-man. Well, it didn't work, though. No. Howard covered him pretty well.
Didier's bigger than Howard. Here's Mark Mosley, got his shoe tied down. Charlie Brown is in the game as a wide receiver. Muhammad is out. Theismann is down. Elois Grooms with the 6th sack of the Redskin quarterback, and Theismann comes out of it limping.
Grooms came through on that play, and someone tried to tackle him. Watch it, it's Ken Huff here trying to block him. He does a circle. Huff tries to grab him. He gets right by him and gets in here on Theismann. Watch number 61 in white. You see him, he does a circle. See now, Huff right there tries to grab him from behind. He can't stop Grooms, and he gets another big sack for the Cardinals.
That's one of the few times you'll see that spin move get you anywhere. Third down and long, 3rd and 18 for the Redskins. Theismann with time this time, going and hitting Art Monk, and he gets enough for a first down. Wayne Smith. What a clutch throw and catch. .217, now .215, now less than that left to play. Remember that the Redskins have already used 2 of their timeouts.
Watch this catch. Art Monk is the third guy. They had a guy deep, a guy short, and Monk right in the middle. But it was a 3rd down play, and he knew enough to get up there for that first down.
He got 20, and they needed 19. The 2-minute warning has been issued. Score is 27-26, the Cardinals over the Redskins. 2 minutes to go.
Here was a big play to Art Monk. Here's what you call flooding the zone. Look, 3 receivers, 1 goes short, 1 goes deep, and Monk goes in the middle and catches maybe the biggest catch of his career. Watch him see the short, the deep, and right in the middle. That opens it up for Art Monk, just beyond the first down marker.
That was Monk's 11th catch of the day. That equals the career single best day. And what a day to set the record. Mohammed is out wide to the left. Monk is inside him. They give to Riggins. Riggins moves it closer in the middle. Lee Nelson on the stop. Like he got about 5.
You mentioned earlier that the Redskins only have 1 timeout. I think the Cardinals should start thinking in terms of timeouts, and they have. They just took their first timeout.
So they have 2 left as Hannafin talks to his men, and Joe Gibbs speaks with Theismann. In the last 3 years, since the Redskins have been so successful, they have never lost in the final 4 regular season games.
And that guy there has a lot to do with it, Joe Gibbs. They talk about the last 3 years. I think he's probably done the best coaching job of anyone in this game. I'll tell you what a job he's done, and maybe he did his best job this year. I mean, he's had so many injuries, so many things go wrong, but they just kept fighting. They just kept staying there, coming back, you know, playing different guys, bringing a guy in 1 week, playing him on Sunday. I'll tell you, he's done an outstanding job.
27-26, the timeout situation. Cardinals have 2 remaining. The Redskins have 1. Riggins got 5 on that carry, make it 2nd and 5, so Riggins stays in the game. They're in range, certainly.
Sure, Riggins will carry it again.
I'm sure you're right. Over the left side for a couple. Thomas Howard brings him down. Mosley continues to loosen up. Timeout Cardinals. Now they have 1. The Redskins have 1. Minute 42 left. That's how far they have to go. You look at the Cardinal defensive unit. The line of scrimmage is the Cardinal 21. Pat Summerall and John Madden, and this is for the marbles. Each team has 1 timeout remaining. They give to Riggins. Riggins is cut down short of the first down. And let's see if they, yes, the Cardinals take their final timeout. Tonight on CBS, here's what's coming up as Mosley comes out. 60 minutes will be first, followed by Murder, She Wrote, The Jeffersons, Alice, and then Trapper John, MD. Turned out to be one heck of a contest.
I know it, and even if the Redskins kick this field goal and it's good, this game isn't over because the Cardinals by using that those timeouts, are still going to get the ball back, and they're going to have over a minute to play. You have to remember, they've scored every time they've had the ball so far in this game.
In the second half.
The second half. The second half in this game.
Right. 37 yards out is Mosley. He's been good from that distance and from 21 already.
Well, he finally got that right shoe on now, got it all tied up. One of the few straight-ahead kickers left. I think there's only 2 in the game.
That's right. Good snap. It's good. Mosley hits it. And now Mosley was hit by somebody, and he's hurt, limping off.
He could be hurt, but he's very, very happy. That hurt will go away quickly.
We can see what happened.
That was Roy Green that was in there.
But I didn't see him hit him. Looked like he just spun him around.
I think he slipped. I'll tell you, 1 minute 33 seconds back. They haven't stopped him yet in the second half.
Position to return the kickoff.
Well, there's no reason to save anything. Give it everything you have. This is it.
Willard Harrell is back there with him, but this is Green. And there's nothing there. Down at the 20. 1:27 left to play. No timeouts left for St. Louis.
Of course, they'll do 2 things. One, they'll try and get the ball up the field and get out of bounds to stop the clock. Or 2, if it's inside, then what they're going to do is just get up and no huddle.
And now the pressure on the kicker moves to the other side of the field. Mosley did his part. Now it goes to O'Donoghue. This crowd, everybody on their feet screaming. O'Donoghue, rather Lomax says we can't hear. Nobody can hear.
This is going to be a problem the rest of this game. We can see the referee is now talking to Lomax and explaining to him what he has to do, because I'm sure from now on, every time the Cardinals go up to the line of scrimmage, the crowd's going to do the same thing.
O'Donoghue. It may look like he's exercising, but I think he's praying.
Stretches his legs out a little.
There's Redskin owner Jack Kent Cook up to the press spot, pacing back and forth. Lomax gets it down the middle. Pickup of about 8, but that keeps the clock going. And remember, the Cardinals are out of timeouts.
You know, the interesting thing there, the play before, they tried to go shotgun. They couldn't get it up, so he went back to the line of scrimmage as he is now.
Willard Harrell. On second down, Lomax goes and gets Danny Pittman, and he gets out of bounds at the 41-yard line and picks up the first down. 13-yard gain and a clutch 13-yard gain. A good throw by Lomax.
You know, the Cardinals only need about 30 more yards to get within O'Donoghue's field goal range. That's about 2 medium-sized passes.
They have a minute and 3 seconds to get it done.
This Neil Lomax has been something today, and another thing, his offensive line has done a good job of protecting him.
Redskins now going with 3 down linemen to rush him. He goes back in the shotgun again and goes outside to Willard Harrell, who gets it out of bounds. He got out of bounds and stopped the clock with 56 seconds left to play.
That was a good move by Willard Harrell getting out of bounds, or a poor tackle by Vernon Dean. Dean had him, and he just couldn't keep a hold of him. Watch as the Cardinals do go back in the shotgun. They're in the shotgun. He finds Harrell out here. Now watch number 32, Vernon Dean. He's up there. He has the tackle. Harrell's able to get out and get out of bounds and stop the clock. Still 56 seconds to go.
That was only a 6-yard gain. 6 yards will take the Cardinals to save, but the big part of it was stopping that clock. They need approximately 23 more yards to get in O'Donoghue's range. Lomax out of the shotgun. Can't find anybody. Does find Anderson. Anderson hammers down inside the Redskin 40, but the clock will run. First down. Rich Malott made the stop.
With a first down now, Pat, Lomax can waste the play. Just throw ones out of bounds to stop the clock.
Got to do it quick. And he does. In the direction of Tilley. That'll make it 2nd and 10.
That was a smart play there because he had to go without a huddle. He had first down. You can afford to waste a down. So get there, stop the clock. Now you can get your play sent in. Now you can huddle up. Now you can get everyone to know exactly what you want done. Because really, to be in field goal range, the Cardinals only need one more completion.
Neil O'Donoghue, on whose shoulders it looks like the pressure will ultimately fall, is from Ireland. He went to school at Auburn. He's been in the NFL 8 years. He came up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Lomax comes out wide to right. They get it out to Anderson, and Anderson will hop out of bounds.
I said one more completion. That wasn't the one more completion. The one thing that surprises me about the Redskin defense is that they're staying with a 3-man line. You know, all year, they've always been a 4-man line, and here they get in this situation, and on this drive, they've stayed all the way with just 3 men rushing.
If the Cardinals had to try the field goal from here, it would be from 55 yards out. They'd certainly like to have O'Donoghue a little bit closer. It's to Pittman. They're going to have to hurry. They're going to have to hurry. Rich Malott dragged him down. 13 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to hurry. 8 seconds.
They have too many men on the field.
6 seconds. They got him off. He got it off. It's no good. Division champions. Here's O'Donoghue's effort. I don't think it was far enough, and I know it went to the left. And I feel for him.
Was trying to get it in there. I thought we talked about Joe Gibbs, the job he's done, but Jim Hannaford has done a heck of a job with this Cardinal team also.
Look at the Redskin reaction.
That miss brought them the championship.
Darrell Green's reaction. in Moonachie, New Jersey. Byron Williams. 29-27, the Redskins over St. Louis, and the Redskins win the championship. Executive producer is Terry O'Neill. Senior producer Charles Milton III, Sandy Grossman, the director today. Joan Vetrano, the associate producer. All the rest of you, we had ourselves a heck of a contest. Gives the Redskins, John, that one big desire that they had. Of course, they wanted to win the Eastern Division Championship, but they need a week of rest, they feel, particularly for Riggins.
I think that was probably the biggest thing. Of course, you don't want to have to play more games than anyone else, but by winning the division, they get that week off, and that's what Joe Gibbs was saying yesterday, that'll help us more than anything. We just need to get healthy.
Coming up next, the NFL Today, as we said. And so the Redskins win the championship 29-27 over the Cardinals. Pat Summerall and John Madden, I'll tell you, had a most enjoyable day, and we hope you did. Redskins won it by 2.
Us syncopators of progressive riffs have a unique style of jawing.
Howard says jazz musicians talk funny.
And after a gig, I finger pop with a light beer from Miller.
After playing, Howard enjoys a light beer.
Light is super cool and a breeze on the calories you dig.
Light is less filling, with a third less calories than their regular beer. And the taste, Howard?
Oh, man, it's Obop Shabam. It's lay down, break down, birdie on the hot side of town.
He likes it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
Introducing a computer that can change the way you work. The new Tandy 1000, complete with DeskMate software for easy-to-use word processing, filing, worksheets, scheduling, communications. Brought to you by Tandy, clearly superior for service, support, and software. The Tandy 1000, available at Radio Shack Computer Centers and